All right. We are live, boys. Yeah, you can all fall off your chairs. You can all fall off your chairs. I am on time. I am not late. How many people had that on your bingo cards today, huh? It's the little things that matter. I'm not 1 minute late. I am exactly. I went live exactly at 19:45, which is what I said. 19:45. The answer is normally nobody. Oh man. So how are we doing today? Wait, where is my fan gone again? Send a Discord message to my son. Oh, you said? Might need to open that window again. Might need to open that window. How we doing today, folks? How is everyone in the world of gaming and news and just chilling? How we all doing? I'm not late. No. I don't know what type of clocks you got, but Windows said I'm on time. I'm on time. Microsoft knows all. Microsoft would never screw you over. Microsoft would never treat you like crap because Microsoft is your friend. They know what you want. And they absolutely deliver every time. Do you know what? I think I'm going to start with that. I think we can start with that one, right? That did not work. There we go. That worked. They gave you KSA your best friend. You know what? I'm going to start today by taking an L. Yes, you've heard me right. I'm going to start the stream with taking an L. Because I was saying something for the past few weeks and it turned out not to be true. And in fact, I think it was Brandon who actually quite humbly gave me that L. And it's because of this. No, not because of this. Not because of this. See, that's a double L now. Where is it? Oh, what can I say? These streamers today, they're just so bad at what they do. Any part-timer can do it, apparently. But because of this. Starfield update 1.15.214 May 6, 2025 beta. And it will probably land in like, a week later on the consoles. But it wasn't delayed because of the PlayStation version of the game that should be coming. So I will take the massive L on this one because I've been saying it, and when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's extremely rare, but I'll take it. I liked actually, Yato. Yato, I liked Xbox Series P. You know what? I'm gonna start using that. I like that. I like that. I do like that. What do you mean another L? This is the first L I've taken in ages. Like, how many L's have I actually taken over the past year? Like, literally none. I have been the bastion of news and People don't like to hear the truth, but I'm still going to give it to them whether they like it or not. Hey, look, at least we're the Premier League champions. Take your crappy L's away, Gorsty. I've actually taken no L's this year. Because you've got Xbox Series X and P and S. At least one per day. What is wrong with you guys? Why do you have to bully me every time I start the stream? Banisher? People have been banned for less. That is like the most horrible thing you can say to me. I'm pretty sure even Scousers don't want to support Liverpool. They wake up and as an obligation have to do it, but I'm pretty sure they're at the town hall going, is there any way we can remove this obligation of being a Liverpool fan? It's a thing. You know, Banisher, surprisingly, I don't think so. I think there's a bit more pride in calling yourself a Sheffield United fan than a Liverpool fan. It is just a thing. Do you know, I'm not sure what's worse for the Scousers. Actually rooting for Everton or being a Liverpool fan. You know, they've been placed in a spot where they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. No wonder they are the way they are. Because ain't no one got time for any of those. I do. I have pretty much every console. And I've pre-ordered, I've got a Switch as well, pre-ordered my Switch 2, got a gaming PC, got a Steam Deck. I really want to get an Asus ROG. Because Steam Deck sucks. But in short motion. Yeah, we are football fans, Devin. You know, the game where the ball is on the floor and you play it with your foot. None are stolen. Look, I got a friend called Larry, and Larry has a lorry. I'm not even going to joke about this because you guys are going to take it seriously. Rugby for the softies? Mate, rugby is way more punishing than American football. They've got all that protective gear and shit. Rugby is mano a mano. There ain't no protective gear. It's man versus man out there. Not man versus how much money can I spend to protect myself in this hazmat suit protected by all this fluffy stuff. You just appeared in my stream. That was just a random arm that just came through. NFL wrapped up in cotton wool. Ah, I see, better show. You know nothing. I have a great friend who's a Scouser, by the way, and he has a van. So that's all I'm going to say on my console acquisitions. I'm neither confirming or denying that they're in chat right now. Hey, gaming. That's a code. But yeah, so Starfield is getting an update. It's getting a pretty decent update. You're going to be able to, open your library and navigate to Starfield. Right-click Starfield and select properties. What the hell is all this about? Wait, this is just to do the beta. Added very low display settings to improve performance on some devices. Added very low display settings. Wow. Creation Kit added the ability for creators to add new icons to the game. Cool. Creation Store now supports bundling creation, so it's basically a money update. Creations up to 2 GB in size can now be uploaded. So basically, this feature is all about making money. This update is just, I want to make money. Come on. There's a bunch of bug fixes in here. Skills. Gameplay updates, skill cargo link and robots build limits from the outpost management skill should now persist after going through Unity. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Space Adept's legendary effect no longer has a negative modifier for terrestrial damage. Okay, that's nice. Gameplay options addressed an issue with some interiors that prevented cargo access. Grav jumping issue that could occur after being hailed. Some nice updates here. At Hell's Gate, I still need to play this, the Doom update in Starfield. The Crucible Blade no longer damages ships in orbit. What? What? Oh. The Crucible Blade audio will now play correctly after loading a save or fast traveling. That's funny. Updated resolutions include 32:9, so ultra wide. Performance resolved an issue that could have. There's lots of things, and lots of quests fixed as well. Locations have been sorted. At Hell's Map, the plasma research now shows up on the surface map. Lots of UI things, vehicles. It's a pretty big one. Even the DLC has had a bunch of fixes, which is really, really cool. Have I become Starborn yet? Oh no. I'm still that crazy guy that's trying to do everything possible in this first playthrough. It's probably the dumbest thing to do, because realistically, what you want to do is kind of, well, here's the thing. You want to play the game properly in your first playthrough, and then the next 9 playthroughs you just blitz Unity and get it over and done with, and then on your final playthrough you just do everything again and clear everything. Quest fixes. Some of these are the new quests, right? All that money can buy. Fix a rare issue that caused the trade tower elevator to be inoperable. So, when they say fix a rare issue, it means it's not 100% reproducible. Which are the worst bugs you can get. Addressed an issue where completing Hell's Gate with Sarah as a companion could prevent completion of the quest. That should have been addressed a long time ago. Shonda will now recover if she was downed while collecting Ashton meat. Some of these should have been done from a little while ago. Top of the list, resolve the control lock that could occur after selling survey data. But otherwise, it's fine. The DLC stuff is a bit weird. I never encountered a single bug in the DLC. Fix the lens flare flicker with the Citadel on Dazra. Didn't even notice if there was a lens flare flicker or not. Hey, Diablo, no need to be sorry. How you doing, buddy? Don't worry, Xbox Series P holders, it's coming to your Xbox soon. UP holders will understand the convos. Well, the New Game Plus cycle changes it, slightly depending on what universe you land on, right? But ultimately, it's kind of like this. You're gonna go through the same principle, generally. Hey, Rabbi, how's it going? Nope, David, it has not. But I thought this was kind of interesting, right? This is something that Brandon showed me. That's really, really loud. So I don't want to burst your eardrums. But, don't know if you've seen this yet. It's Watchtower. Let me reduce this a little bit. Okay, Mike, you need to stop doing this. You need to stop actually reducing the gain. Bad, Mike. Alright, so. This is actually really cool. So this is actually a mod that was made. Not long now. You don't need sound. Why do you need the sound for? What is this, a 5-star buffet and you want sound as well? Fine, I'll give it to you with the sound.
From the moment we first reached for the stars, they were already here. Entities of unfathomable power. We've seen what they're capable of, and so it is our duty to contain them. We need a sky drop now. We are Watchtower.
I don't know, I think it's really cool. This is like, I think this is like a whole planet that they're doing, that they're adding into the game. That's really, really cool. It is a paid mod, it's not free, but still. David, I'm Jelly. I'm Jelly. I'm good, Remy. How are you? So clearly the big one today, the big topic of the day is going to be, of course... We'll talk about nibs later. Let's talk about gears first, because, you know, at some point we do need to cover gears, and, you know, we want to cover that at the beginning. I was going to talk about the big one with nibs, but, you know, let's mock him later. First of all, let's talk about gears. Hey, Sanchez. So what's people's thoughts overall on Gears appearing on PlayStation finally? Now, there's a lot of discourse on this because it's not all free, and it's clear what Microsoft is doing. I mean, they're being extremely cheeky with this, but it's clear what they're doing. But what's your thoughts? Anyone bold enough to jump on chat and let me know their thoughts, as long as it's not rude. You know, no rudeness, no background noise, please. Let's get the code. If anyone wants to, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If anyone wants to jump in and share their opinion, let's do it. Let's do it. Jump in, share opinion, jump out, and then we can get someone else in. It was never 4 games, C2DD. It was never 4 games. And he told you that in the February update. It was never 4 games. Microsoft gonna do what Microsoft wants to do. I'm fine with Gears going. We play it on Game Pass. They can buy the game. Xbox makes 70% from their purchase to fund. Well, okay, so this 70% that they make is with a caveat, right? Because they need to make the money back on development cost, marketing, you know, hosting of digital servers, whatever it is. There's all this cost that goes into building a game. So once that's made back, that's when they start to make the 70%. But until then, they make nothing. They're basically cashing in on trying to break even and then make a profit. Once they make a profit, that's when they're making their sweet 70%. Gears is not 80, it's 40, I believe. $39.99. So I actually think it's going to be like $34.99 in UK. Metal Eden. Metal Eden had problems. It's that weird game, right? That looked like Marathon. From what I understand, that game had a few problems. So here's what's actually happening. Microsoft is clearly releasing Gears 1. Then they're going to release Gears 2. Then Judgment. Then 3. Then 4. And then 5. And then they're going to release E-Day. And so they are going to milk this franchise by remastering every single one, re-releasing them one at a time instead of doing a collection so they can maximize their profits. I guarantee it. And the actual development time that's gone into Gears Reloaded, they're going to use that same engine, the same texture pack, and just, move it over to Gears 2 and do that as well. It's going to be a lot cheaper to go from Gears 2 onwards. Gears 1 was the one where they had to kind of do all the Linux work because, it's a different operating system. So, there's going to be additional costs with the first one because it's developing for a new platform. But from Gears 1 onwards, it's going to be printing money for Gears 2 to 5. Oh, Judgment can't come, can it? Because it's, what is it? People Can Fly. Oh, so that I didn't wait. Are they actually retconning 4 and 5? Metal Eden release date? Metal Eden is 2020 September. So we won't see a price probably until after the June summer showcases. So probably end End of June, you'll probably see a price of a pre-order. June, July. At the very latest, August. Yeah, the Xbox store won't see him for a while, Rebby. No, it shows Metal Eden. No, you're right. I did search the wrong thing. Metal Eden will be released in summer 2025. I was right. Release date planned for Q3 2025. So you won't see it until later in the year. It's not ready yet. Well, that's all that's coming up in Google, my friend. Oh yeah, right. So they are still canon. For a second, I thought they retconned 4 and 5. No. I know because I know they're years ahead. Well, clearly they haven't released it, so there's a. I'm guessing it's gone back. Only Gears I played is Gears 5. Sanchez, then you definitely have to play Gears 1. Gears 1 to 3 was phenomenal. 4 kind of lost its way. 5, I don't know what happened to 5. But 1 to 3 was amazing. Honestly, I think with 5, they just tried to play it too safe. And it didn't work. They were too scared to take risks. But yeah, that's what they're going to do. Because it's not out yet, Remy. There's no release date. Just September. Wait, didn't you say Pop Tactics was trash? I remember you saying Pop Tactics was so bad that it made you ashamed to be a Gears fan. Or was that the other Pop game? Could be. I do like the fact. I mean, earlier today I was talking with someone, one of my friends who's also a PlayStation fan. You know, not like a fanboy, but just a fan. And they started saying how Telu want, the Last of Us and the Gears of War remaster had so much in common and they were the same. And I'm like, how can they be the same? So does anyone believe that they share similarities? Telu and Gears remaster. Hey, Paul. I have no idea, Rebby. I don't work for them. What's this? Let's see. Well, Metal Eden's demo is out now. And Their website says coming summer 2025, so there's nothing May on their main website. So, Rabbi, I don't know what website you're looking at, but you are misinformed. See, that's what it is, right? That's what it is. That isn't some BS take right there. The reason why Reloaded exists and they didn't leave it with the ultimate version of the game is because they needed to redevelop it for PlayStation. Not even PC. Steam doesn't even come into this. It's purely PlayStation. They needed to get it working on a Linux-based operating system. Because at the end of the day, you know, no matter how you look at it, Steam is still running on Windows. So, if they're going to remake it for PlayStation, they're not just going to release it on PlayStation. So, by and large, that's why it's available on Xbox and PC. But they did go one step further and say, hey, if you've already got the Ultimate Edition, before this update came out, you get the game for free. So for those of you that bought the Ultimate Edition, you actually get Reloaded for free. If you're a sucker like me that didn't get, the Ultimate Edition, you don't get it for free. You have to pay for it. But, don't worry. I can guarantee there's going to be, early access for this game. So none of you are actually going to be able to play it day one unless you pay extra money. So they're still going to get money off you. I don't know, I never really bothered with buying Ultimate because I had the originals. And I was playing it for a Game Pass, so I don't think I ever really bothered buying it. Didn't really see the need to. Do I think E-Day will be day and date on PlayStation? That's an interesting one. I'm not quite sure. I think if they are going with, if they're going with through the list of games right now with the re-releases 1 to 3, then probably not. But if they stop at 1, then I can see them probably doing it as a timed exclusive. Steve, they're gonna get money off your overweight then, because that early access is coming. Play one day early for $9.99. Get that money in. Cha-ching! So, Paul, that's a really, really tricky one to digest because Xbox has kind of changed now. I don't know how you guys stand. Oh, we've got someone in chat. Let's bring them in. Hey, David.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think this would work.
Nah, it's working. It's working. Let me make sure the chat can hear you. Alright, go for it. And I'll continue my thought about DCG in just a second.
I was just trying to figure out if this thing worked. I didn't have anything to say.
Oh, fair enough. But chat is waiting for you to say something totally meaningful.
Stay here. I could stay here and add some stuff to the conversation if you want.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Until at least until someone else decides to jump in. But yeah, so the way I see it with the whole Xbox situation right now, the actual Xbox console brand, to me, has taken a step back. The brand is now Game Pass, and everything is being pushed onto Game Pass. That's the holy grail. That is the brand. That is everything. That is what has taken over what the primary is. And so when people say Xbox is dead, it's not dead. I mean, the brand itself will be there, but it no longer has the significance it did, say, like it did 5 years ago, or even like 3 years ago, before they started porting games. So I think that's a fair way of putting it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. But my question, I just don't know what they're going to do with the transition itself. I wonder what their next hardware is going to be if they don't want if they don't want to focus on the hardware anymore.
It's just going to be a PC, but it's going to be a mid-range PC.
What does that mean?
So it's just going to be like a mid-spec PC.
Is it going to be modular?
No.
Would it be modular?
No. That wouldn't make sense because that would start to impose into other areas, and they also won't really give. I don't know if they're going to give you access to full Windows.
Well,
So
I mean, they'd have to. It's a PC.
Yeah, I know, but you might not. They probably won't expose you to it because the whole purpose of a console is, you just want it plug and play. You don't want to deal with all of that Windows startup. Going into whatever launcher it is and then playing. You want a front end GUI that you can go in, click the button, and you're in the game. And that's what they need to deliver. If they can't deliver that, then there's a problem because they're going to lose even more people.
Do you think they can deliver on it?
Of course, 100%. It's not that difficult. I mean, even like the Series X is an actual example. The Series X runs on Windows 10. There is Windows running. It's real Windows running the Series X, by the way.
If Microsoft wants to make a small PC, I wonder how they're going to get dedicated ports for that PC specifically. Or else it's just going to be the crappy PC launch with the horrible optimization, just like the Steam Deck, right?
I mean, it's going to be more powerful than the Steam Deck. Way more powerful. We're talking. If it got released today, I'd probably say or assume it would be somewhere in the region of what the latest AMD cards are. Right? I would expect it to be around that level. And obviously they're going to subsidize some of that cost and then release it somewhere in the region of about $800 bucks. Because that's what I see the next consoles be costing anyway.
Yeah, that's still too much. For me anyway.
I mean, it's moving away from budget gaming. Like, once the PS5 Pro came in at $700 and a lot of people bought it, that pretty much told these companies, hey, these people are willing to pay anything. It doesn't matter the cost.
You think they're just increasing the price of their hardware to funnel people into cloud gaming?
Yeah.
I think that's obvious. 100% they're doing that.
Chaos, do you think GTA 6 will be on xCloud? If so, xCloud could up. If Microsoft managed to get it, I mean, there's no reason why it couldn't be on xCloud. Because at the end of the day, you've got no access to that server, you've got no access to that system. All you're doing is streaming it from another Xbox to your device. So if Rockstar is smart and they like money, the one thing that I would do, like with any company, this is for, by the way, Microsoft now has that thing where you can buy your game and play it on xCloud. It doesn't necessarily have to be in Game Pass for that to work. If I was all video game companies, I would make sure that my game is working on xCloud. Because that now because xCloud at that point becomes another platform. Even if you don't have a console and you want to play games, you can. You'll have to buy the game at retail price, whatever it costs, and then play it through your xCloud subscription. And that's, as far as 2K is concerned or Capcom or anyone, They're getting their money and they're not losing anything. This is literally a win-win situation for these companies. Whether they will opt for it is a different matter. But Microsoft is hoping that these companies will. And, to me, it's a no-brainer. If you like money, why not? The only different, your game will, all you're doing is putting your game on the server and allowing a one-to-many license from Microsoft. But that game is still being purchased in order for you to play that license. Otherwise, you can't play it. So it just opens you up to a completely bigger audience. And as cloud gaming evolves and gets better, and more countries, especially those developing countries that can't afford, right, the actual consoles, because they're so expensive, cloud gaming is clutch for them, and so that's a really easy way for them to get into gaming. I hope that answered that question. But yeah, I think with these rising prices with the consoles, number one, it's just greed, right? $730 for the Galaxy
Oh yeah,
Series
100%.
That's just greed, man.
Yeah, no
That price
shit.
hike was that was crazy price increase. Microsoft was like, oh baby, we seen that opportunity. Let's go, baby. You know
Yeah.
how long I've been waiting for this? Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself. That's exactly what that was. And they took it. They took that opportunity the first time. But you know what? When the prices increased from 60 to 70, how long did it take for Sony and Microsoft to jump on that bandwagon? Not long at all. So as soon as they get an opportunity, they're going to take it. They're a business at the end of the day. These businesses aren't your friends. They don't really care about you. They care about your wallet. And ultimately, they want to make more money. And if they can get away with making more money, they're gonna take it. But I think, in part, there's two ways of looking at this. One, it's greed, and two, they're looking at it as, hey, if we increase the price enough, we'll see how it is, and if enough people don't buy it, then this can be, with the next device that's coming out, this could be our swan song to say farewell to the hardware market and stay as a third-party publisher, because at the end of the day, that's going to make them the most money. And if you're paying $700-800 for a console, why not just pay an extra $300-400 and buy a PC that can just do more and play more and have more? The lines start to blur, and so it's going to be very interesting at what the consoles are going to be priced for next gen. It's going to be very, very interesting, because you're going to have like the next Xbox launching with Halo, Blade, a new Gears, probably Gear 6, and you've got a bunch of other games that are coming with it as well. Perfect Dark, potentially. So many games, and they're going to try to push you onto things. Next Xbox must play PC games. Well, that's the thing. If the next Xbox is playing PC games at that point, which it will, in my opinion, it diminishes the reason for a console even more. And it's just going to be a mid-spec PC, non-modular, because modular would make it more difficult. Because don't forget, if you've got a set spec for a PC, and there's going to be other PC variations, right, from the OEMs if they release it. And it'll be interesting to see if they make it modular. But I think what they're going to do is, Xbox is basically going to be the Steam Deck. If you look at all these companies, they build their game for handheld on the Steam Deck. And the rest of them, like the ROG, the Lenovo, the MSI, they just brute force it to be better. But it's optimized for the Steam Deck. And so the games will be optimized for Microsoft's non-modular console, but if the other versions of the consoles want to be more powerful, they're just going to brute force it. If that makes sense.
30 megabits per second, huh? That's poverty, dude.
Mate, I'm not that far high from you, Martin. I'm on 50 or 60 at the moment. I went from a gigabit connection down to 60 meg. Do you know how horrible that is?
No, and I hope I don't.
Trust me, it's like going back to the Stone Ages. Mate, the moment we hit 60 meg again, I saw Fred Flintstone opposite my street. I saw Barney running after Dino. It was crazy.
Your TVs go back to black and white again?
Mate, forget black and white. We just had people reenacting themselves in the actual the back of the TV.
Yeah.
It was bad, man. But it's like you look on the map for where I live, because I'm here temporary. But you look on the map, and everywhere around the village I've got has got a gigabit, 2 gigabit, 4 gigabit connection. It's just this village that has nothing.
So they built around you guys?
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
It's like, why? Couldn't you have gone like 3 centimeters more in? Just cover the property I'm in and then we're okay. But nope, that is not the case. I wonder if hybrids and services are the future of gaming. I mean, I think ultimately in the future, like, I'm talking, say, 10 years ahead, maybe a little more, but these consoles are just going to become apps, right? There's no shot that that's going to happen. They're already apps, but that's what's going to be the mainstream. When you've got like 4 gigabit, 5 gigabit connections everywhere globally, you're not going to have that problem anymore. Everyone's just going to be able to game with virtually no latency. Hey, Sin.
No, and I hope I don't.
He has his kids with the funny hand. Hey, don't remind me, man. Those were the days, Ventura, when I used to be kids. Man, I used to move it around just so you could get that perfect little RF connection. Hey, Digital, how's it going? You're okay with your Dreamcast? But yeah, you know, I think Gears going to PlayStation and the announcement coming pretty much signifies what most of us assumed anyway, that at the end of the day, you know, Microsoft isn't going to stop. They're going to port everything. It wouldn't surprise me if E-Day was day and date. But the way they see it is, and this is really important, in my opinion, they're going down this route. They should not increase the value, you know, the price of Game Pass. And if the price does increase of Game Pass, those that are already subscribed should retain the pricing that we have right now and not the new pricing.
Dude, they're 100% increasing the price of Game Pass.
I mean, I know they are. Everyone knows it's coming. But they shouldn't. Because at that point, they're making it less and less, you know, enticing for people. I mean, at the moment in the UK, it's £15 a month, which is still good. I mean, even at £20 a month, I think is okay. Anything above that starts to push it for a subscription service. But I think what they need to do to show Xbox gamers that they still value them is not increase the price, at least for the customers who are on Ultimate right now. You know, if they are going to increase the price, do it. But for legacy holders, leave it the way it is. Like, look at GeForce Now, right? I was a founding member of GeForce Now, right? I subscribed to them very early on when it first came out, when it was £5 a month. My subscription with them now stays the same. So even though I sign up to their 4080 service, my price will never increase, ever.
So it's still $5?
I think I'm paying like 60 odd. Is it £80 at the moment for a whole for 6 months, or is it something £60 for 6 months? Because if I stayed with the mid-tier edition, I'd be paying $5 here. It's like £25 for the 6 months. Mine will never increase because I was a legacy member, a founding member, and I'm guaranteed that. And even with the new, policies that they've got in place, where you can only play like 1,000 hours, I think it is, they said, or 100 hours. Even now, I've got no limit. It doesn't affect my contract with them because I'm a legacy thing. So this is the type of respect that Microsoft should give to its legacy fans. If you are on Game Pass Ultimate and you've held it for you've held it for so long, respect the price point. They don't get a price increase unless they stop paying. If they stop paying for 6 months or 2 months, whatever, and then they want to come back, then at that point it's fair game. But as long as your contract doesn't drop and you renew monthly or renew every 3 monthly or whatever you want to do, then at that point it should just stay the same. They should respect that. And as long as they do that, I think that's cool. But it's like stuff like this, right? Let me show you, which I think is just weird. You know, they first announced Gears going, which I think was, annoying in many respects. But then there's this rumor over here. Why is PlayStation getting a Call of Duty bundle and Xbox doesn't?
They probably paid for it or something.
It's Microsoft's game.
I mean, it's just more money, bro.
But why aren't they doing it themselves?
PlayStation was going to get the game regardless. If they want to pay Microsoft more money to get
but why
more
not
random
yourself?
Well, they won't. They clearly don't care.
There you go.
About bundling and stuff. They don't do physical games anyway.
They don't care about the Xbox console. If they did, they wouldn't be pushing for PS5 so hard. This to me tells me that they're pushing the PS5 hard. Obviously, they're going to make way more money from PlayStation than they will on Xboxes. But why not offer the same bundle? What have you got to lose? Like, how will that affect your bottom line if you said, right, we're doing Call of Duty bundles for PlayStation and Xbox?
Actually, you know what? Yeah, it makes no sense anymore.
Right? Do you see what I mean? Like, there's no damage here to the bottom line.
Is that a rumor?
Apparently it's coming. It's a well-known leaker from CoD has basically seen the promotional bundle. And now, we don't know if there's an Xbox version available, but the point I'm making here is it's clear that Microsoft is looking at Sony more than they are with Thing. So the least that they can do for their Xbox customers right now is look after them with Game Pass. Look after your existing customers with Game Pass. Because if they turn around and say, right, all you Game Pass guys, your subscription's just gone up by another $5, they're taking the piss at that point, no?
Yeah.
There is no competition anymore, Susano. Microsoft is not in competition with Sony. You don't put games on your competitor. There's no competition there. Microsoft is in this weird limbo where they are third party and first party because they have a platform and they have a store. And so they're leveraging both. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I would like to see, like wholeheartedly, I would like to see them drop a Gears console. Because I know one person who's going to go and buy every single stock there is in Amazon straight away, or from the Microsoft store. I know there's one guy, and he's in chat as well. Man's going to go and buy every controller.
Gears of War sucks, man.
Oh, why would you say that?
Halo and what is that? Warhammer is better than that.
Nah, I'm a Gears fan. I like Gears 1 to 3. 4 and 5 just didn't do it for me. But 1 to 3 was really good.
I like 5. Why don't you like 5?
It played it too safe. There was no risks. It was too just predictable. There was
You
never a
make it
moment.
sound. You make it sound like the game is fundamentally bad.
No, the game is just. Picture it like this: you go to a restaurant to have a meal. You get a steak, and you're getting ready to eat that steak, and the steak is good, but it's really
Yeah.
bland and it doesn't have the seasoning on it. They didn't, flame grill it or anything. They didn't do nothing to the steak. They just cooked the steak and brought you the steak with no seasoning and just gave it to you. That steak still tastes good, right? That ribeye is still going to taste good. But it could have tasted a whole lot better if they added the seasoning to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Gears of War is not better than Halo. I don't know what C2DD is talking about.
And Halo for me will always be up there.
Halo is easily one of the best games ever made.
I mean, all you need
Best
to do is
franchises.
just get to the title screen of Halo 3 and that's it. It's done. Just the moment you hear that tune, it's done.
What would you rank all the Halo games?
What would I rank the Halo games?
Yeah, from worst to best.
So, Reach would be my best. Oddly enough, I haven't
Yeah.
played Infinite yet. I still need to play Infinite.
Bro, come on, bro.
I have a reason for not playing Infinite.
What is your reason?
So, me and my friends sat down and played through the whole of the MCC, ODST, everything, Reach, the works. We then actually played Halo 5 over Xbox as well, because we wanted to play co-op. And then they came out with that bullshit that Halo Infinite wouldn't be co-op. And so we were waiting for it to be co-op so we could play it together, and then it just fell off my radar.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
We
What would be number 2?
So Reach is number 1. I'd say 3 would be number 2. 2
Okay.
is Lost. I did not enjoy 2.
And 2? Halo 2?
2's ending sucked.
Oh my god, bro.
Halo 1, because of the nostalgia, would be above 2.
Don't say that on Twitter, dude. I'm just saying.
But I think I really enjoyed ODST. Surprisingly, I didn't think I'd enjoy ODST, but ODST was really damn good. And so I placed that slightly above Halo 1. And then it'll be 3 and 4. Well, Reach.
You didn't say anything about 5.
5 doesn't exist.
Oh, that bad, huh?
Nah, I'm kidding. I liked 5, I just don't know where to put it. Actually, I'd say it would go below number 2. I think 2 was, saying 2 was bottom is a bit harsh. The thing I didn't like about 5 is that you fight the same boss over and over and over.
Oh yeah, that was annoying. That was so annoying, man.
And then the fake marketing that came with it, I was really looking forward to the 2 Spartans. What happened when one of them got shot and stuff. With the marketing drip that they were doing, and none of that actually was in game, and it was all fake. It kind of ruined, part of the story for me. I was expecting stuff that wasn't happening, and by the time I finished it, I was like, so when does that happen?
Yeah, I'm wondering what the hell happened with that campaign, man. It seems like they just fell apart halfway through making it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Halo Reach was the pinnacle. Halo Reach was just phenomenal. 4 wasn't bad either, to be fair. I enjoyed 4 as well. It was different. They went a different route. They experimented with it. I don't think it's, I think it's like mid-table. But ODST was special for me. I really, really enjoyed ODST. I enjoyed it way more than I should have because it doesn't have Chief in there. Steve's after you. But yeah, when you see I don't even think I was showing it, but when you see bundles like this, it's just it doesn't make sense why Microsoft is doing what they're doing. Like I can't see the logic in this. I want to see the logic, I just can't. What they're telling me is, yeah, we just want to go where we're making sales, which to some degree
Nah,
makes
I disagree
sense.
with that.
But there's no way that you're gonna pay $70 billion and not try and advertise your own home platform where you can get 100% of the sales or more Game Pass subscriptions. Like, this is a no-brainer to get people on board on Game Pass.
Well, they did when the game launched. I mean, all they're doing now is just advertising other hardware platforms that uses their software. I mean, Microsoft does that all
Why
the
do they
time.
need to? Why do they need to give them an exclusive bundle?
Well, I'm not talking about exclusive bundles, but just bundles in general.
I mean, at this point, I can see them giving them free consoles shells and stuff like that as well to sell.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Right? I mean, they've given. First, it started off with the Doom trailer, which everyone said, it doesn't matter. It's only a trailer. Now it's gone to the consoles getting exclusive bundles, and people are saying it doesn't matter. At what point will it start to matter to people? When it's too late? All they're doing is pushing, they're pushing it just a bit further every time, conditioning people to say it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Until it does matter, but by that point it's too late.
What would be the threshold until it matters?
When they start getting exclusive either controllers or hardware or even like skins in game. What if Sony turns around and says Microsoft, hey, we want this exclusive skin in game only for our customers. We're going to give you this much money. Microsoft's going to say, okay, why not? We're making money.
Oh, man, it is what it is. It's a corporation.
There you go. But they need to stop doing that. Gears will fail on PS5? Mate, I'm waiting to see all those people crying when they go up against the 10-year veterans of Gears. Mate, have you seen people wall bouncing on that game? It looks absolutely... I don't want to say the R word, but it looks so R word. Mate, they're belly dancing across wall to wall. Mate, you ain't touching those players. They're going to get their asses handed to them record style. It's going to be like, all right, let's go. Gears. It's going to be like, what? I've been killed 7 times. I haven't even touched the controller yet. The round started 4 seconds ago. And you're going to hear that some whiny adult in the background because they've grown up over the years. Suck it, biatch. Oh, they're going to get beaten the living daylights out of them. It's going to be funny to watch. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people like that Warhammer Dave guy. He just irritates me now. I just blocked him in the end. I can't be bothered him. That guy's the whiniest bitch I've seen in a while. But he's still crying about Xbox this and Xbox that. Dude, look, they've and as Paris said, right, and I agree with Paris, Xbox has shown you where it's going. It's shown you what it wants to do. If you don't like it, jump ship. If you like it and you're okay with it, and you're okay with the games coming to Game Pass day one, and you're okay with getting them, as part of your subscription service, then you're in the right place. That's it. Because they're not going to jump. Halo is going to PlayStation. Make no mistake, it is going. Master Chief Collection will be on PlayStation. I think that's when you're going to get the big commotion online. But by that point, the pushback is too late.
Big commotion. No one cares about Gears. I don't think anyone's going to care all that much about Halo. I think everyone's just accepted it at this point.
That's the thing.
Most
they
people
say
have.
that they have, but they haven't. They say they have, but they haven't.
It's just a bunch of fanboys anyway, so I doubt it'll change anything. Them getting mad. Like Crap Gamer, his videos are so confusing, man.
Who?
It's like Crap Gamer.
I mean, Crap Gamer is, I think the best word to describe him is bipolar. Because when he's on the PlayStation podcast, man hates Xbox like there's no tomorrow. But when he's making his videos, Xbox is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, I don't understand what he's doing.
If there isn't, if bipolar doesn't, it's like, you what, mate? It doesn't make any sense. Like, how does that even work? Right?
Steve is still on the Gears of War thing, man.
Dude, that guy is one of the biggest. I think he is the biggest Gears fan that I know. That guy is crazy for Gears. That guy loves Gears more than I bet he loves his house and his car and everything else. Gears, same thing. But you know, Risk It. They broke Risk It. They finally broke Risk It. They finally broke him. That must have hurt him way more than it hurt the average person. Because, in my opinion, he was the last person standing.
Who is this guy?
Risk It is a real. He's a hardcore Xbox fanboy, but not a toxic fanboy.
Oh, okay.
He just loves the brand. He loves the console, and he's stuck by them.
Yeah, I don't think he's the last one. Dirk Grugetty's still standing up there still.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get involved in that one. I think some of those guys actually just do it for fame. Like the level that the level that they go at is unhealthy. I'll say that, and that's it. But this guy genuinely loved Xbox. But for him to just say, just buy a PlayStation, they broke him. Guy's gonna need therapy after this. Or you join Steam and join. See, this is the thing. Like, because I've been gaming on everything, right? I mean, I'm an Xbox fan. I've never denied that, and I've never denounced that. But I play on PlayStation, very little on Nintendo, and I play on PC as well. I play on VR. I play on everything, so my skin in all this has always been a little low, but, you know, I am an Xbox fan. I wouldn't go as far as saying I'm an Xbox fanboy, because I just don't get riled up like other people do. I can see what's good for business, what's not. Then again, I don't care what Microsoft makes and doesn't make, that none of that money goes into my pocket. And why these people pocket watch is crazy in itself. But, you know, there will always be that kind of brand loyalty that you follow. It's like a sports team. Whether you follow Arsenal or you follow Man United or no one follows Liverpool. But, you know, I'm sure there's baseball teams or American football teams that you follow. It's no different. You'll always have an allegiance to something. So that's about where I stand. Xbox fan, pony fanboy, is what best describes chaos. You are wrong, Chaos. Again, Chaos. Another L. And such like. Hey, Demo Flow. How's it going, buddy? Not even the Sony PlayStation fanboys are leaving Game Pass, and the Xbox dudes I've talked to want the Xbox hybrid or PC for next gen. I mean, that's the way it's going, Demo. Thank you for the $5 super chat, my dude. But that's the way it's going. You know, Microsoft is pushing people slowly to a PC. And they're doing it ever so slowly that people don't realize. And it's smart the way they're doing it. Because it's so gradual. It's like the toad in a boiling water. You don't make the boiling water hot enough to burn it so it jumps out. You just make it hot enough for it to simmer and cook without it actually realizing. And essentially that's what Microsoft is doing. And by Xbox becoming that PC, it guarantees that, you know, you don't miss a game again. because all of those games are going to be on PC. And so you can play them regardless. I mean, that is the way I see it. How you doing, Demo? You at work or? I like Demo. He's an Xbox fan, but he's a gamer at heart. Dude just cares about playing games. And that's it. None of this console warring crap. But you know, something you said that was really true. You know, you got, you know how PlayStation fans say, we buy our games and we support developers? Nibs turned around and said, why should I buy Expedition 33 when I can play it on Game Pass?
Oh my god, man. These people are so stupid.
I mean, tell me how you truly feel, right? Reforged turned around and said, I played Indiana Jones on Game Pass. Why would I buy it? So if you're a Xbox owner with Game Pass, I mean, it's like the duality.
Bro, come on, man.
But when you got like die-hard PlayStation fans like Nib saying, why should I buy it when I play it on Game Pass? My man subscribes to Game Pass. How can he turn around and say anything about anything? I mean, the reality is, all of those facts and figures, if he actually had any self-respect and self-dignity, he would know that if you're playing on the Xbox platform and you have Game Pass, there's no real reason for you to buy games if they're already on Game Pass. Now, like Atelier Yumiya isn't on Game Pass, so you'd buy that. Metaphor wasn't on Game Pass, so I bought it. But if the game is on Game Pass, unless they have a really cool collector's edition that I want, like the Indiana Jones one and the Starfield one, I don't feel a reason to buy it. And they just said the same thing, so how are we any different? We just have a better deal with Game Pass, so we can save much more. It doesn't make any sense. It's like they do exactly the same thing, but then do a 180 and call us broke passers or poor and stuff like that. They're just weird people, man. I marry the games, not the console. Xbox is giving us a great deal. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. Nothing's forever. 100% Demo, 100%. Demo, I know you're busy, but if you want to jump in chat for a little bit, feel free. There's the link. Come on in, bro. But yeah, to me, it just doesn't make sense, right? And it's just the way that they go about it. It's weird. They've all got Game Pass. You know, J-Dub has got a Game Pass. Jake Tech has got Game Pass. I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not 100% sure if Puerto Rock has it, but I wouldn't put it past them. They've all got it. None of them will tell you. They've also got really powerful PCs, by the way. But none of them will tell you that I've... Oh, he said he's working. I didn't see. My bad, Demo, my bad. But so for me, when, you know, all these videos about Xbox is dead, well, yes and no. It's just taking a step back. Game Pass is the platform now.
The console is the console is what's dead.
Yeah,
the console is dead. The console's done. There's no way at this point.
I mean, we're still getting another machine.
Yeah, but that's not a console. It should be a computer.
It's still going to function like a console.
Right. I mean, but it's just more Windows. That's all it is. It's just Microsoft Windows at that point. It's not Xbox.
Yeah.
The console is dumb. There's just no way.
But if you're, if you've got something like this and you're not pushing anything and you've got your console, you're not releasing your console till 2027 and you're not going to push the bundle out. At that point, it tells you everything. Game Pass is the platform. And as long as you're happy with Game Pass, I know I am, then play where you can where Game Pass is. Whether it's on PC, on the cloud, or on your Xbox. Because I know I game now more with Game Pass than I would do without it. Times are hard, man. I've saved a metric ton through Game Pass. And at the end of the day, there has to be a... If Game Pass isn't growing to the hundreds and 200 million subscriptions, they need to get extra revenue from somewhere. It's just how business works. Ventura, that basically is what Steam Deck is. And it wouldn't surprise me if they did. But it still needs to... I guess the average person won't want to do that, but if they give you the option, it's nice. The one thing they have to kind of be careful with in doing that is piracy. You open yourself up to a world of piracy by doing that. Right now, consoles are quite restricted compared to what we had back in the day, right? The PS1, the PS2, OG Xbox 360, they were hacked to living hell. Even the PS3 to a certain degree. PS4, not so much. Xbox One, not so much. Series X and S and 5, pretty much non-existent. But up until like the 360 PS2 era, man, consoles were getting hacked to living daylights. Windows is still being sailing the high seas, so they need. That's one aspect that they need to be careful on. Well, that's how it is, Diablo, and that's why the gaming industry, the console market, never really grew between PlayStation and Xbox. They kind of shared the consumer base. When one side had more people buying their console, the other one had less. If you look at the 360 and the PS3 era, they both shared about 90 million. They're just dipping into each other's pools of players. Jesse, Mafia looks awesome. I did like the way that looked. But yeah, Risk It is completely broken. But it's like, look at this, right? Oh no, it's Alex said, I think. Now this is really important with terminology, right? I think the delay was to ensure a PC Day 1 release. At no point is my dude turning around and saying 100% they're delaying it for PC Day 1. Absolutely, without a shadow of doubt, 100%, with absolution, that's why they're delaying. He's just giving an opinion. And then he puts into ChatGPT a bunch of keywords and it spits out a response for him to paste. Certain PC fans and influencers have essentially co-opted parts of the Xbox influencer playbook, perpetual misinformation. What did he say here that's misinformation?
Oh my fucking god, dude. That is so obvious, man.
Can anyone tell me where someone says, I think that this is this? That's misinformation.
Low reading comprehension, that's all it is.
I mean, you have to be a special kind of idiot to interpret what's being said there as misinformation. Like the hopium and the copium, I get, right? And the market misreads is referring to, you know, how 2K likes to double dip. Sell it to the console market first, then those people that are on console that have powerful PCs, when the game comes out on PC, will rebuy it on PC so they can play it at 60 or 120 FPS. So that's what that's referring to. Hence the same thing with a poor business understanding. There's no contradiction in what he said there. There is no flip-flop of what he said there. And there is a bit of wishful thinking. But where is the misinformation? Susano, yes. This is the one that I call a Okumush Jahil. Which basically translates loosely to the educated idiot. The person who's educated that thinks they know everything, but actually are too dumb to actually know anything and just regurgitate words that they think sound important and meaningful, but actually mean nothing. Because you've got to be a special kind of dumb to say, I think the delay was this to be misinformation. You got to be a special kind of stupid. I don't think there's enough stupid in the world to actually explain that one. It was as stupid as a stone. But hey, apparently I'm the fanboy, right? No, actually, I don't think anyone knows what his argument is, Susano. That's the problem. So, Windows Central Gaming, Microsoft has turned Xbox into nothing more than a Game Pass machine, which is what I was saying. I wanted to go through this article if it's not too long because I haven't read it myself. Let's see, is it long? No. Yeah, it's a bit too long. I don't know, do you guys want to go through the article? Or I could ask Grok to summarize it. But I think it's
summarize it.
Let's see.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
I just don't get why my mic keeps reducing its gain annoyingly. Summarize this. The article from Windows Central titled Xbox has become a Game Pass machine and nothing more argues that the Xbox Series X's primary appeal has been reduced to its Game Pass subscription service, raising questions about its value compared to a gaming PC or PlayStation. The author expresses disappointment that Xbox's identity has shifted away from exclusive games, especially after Microsoft's acquisitions of Bethesda and Activision Blizzard. Instead of leveraging these for exclusive titles, Microsoft has made many games multi-platform, with titles like Starfield and Forza Horizon 5 appearing on PlayStation. Wait, Starfield? No. Game Pass offers significant value with a vast library, including day one releases like CoD and Indiana Jones, but its subscriber growth is reportedly flat, and the service is available on other platforms, like PC, diminishing the need for an Xbox console. The article questions whether Game Pass alone justifies purchasing an Xbox, especially with rising console prices and PlayStation's stronger exclusive offerings, suggesting a gaming PC might be a better investment for some. And this is exactly what I said, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're pushing you towards that PC route. They're slowly nudging you and saying, hey, look, you could pay this much money for the console, but pay a little bit more and you can just get a gaming PC. And if you build it yourself, you're actually saving even more money. away, Statham. My mic should be okay now. I don't know why it keeps dropping, which is weird. But it's been doing it for... I need to figure out why the auto gain keeps auto-adjusting. It shouldn't do that, but it has been. And I don't know why. Ah, I don't think I've installed Elgato Wave yet on this. That's probably the reason why. TLDR, I accidentally formatted my PC some time ago. And I'm still putting software apps back on there. Don't ask how I accidentally formatted it. It was really dumb. But it is a thing. That did happen. I said stupid, but I'd rather have open outlets. What do you mean by that, Susanna? No, my input gain is fine, Diablo. What's happening is that the gain on the mic, because when I go raise my voice, it auto reduces the gain to stop it from spiking and peaking, but it's not bringing the gain back up when I get lower. So it reduces it, but it doesn't increase it, oddly enough. Look, Steve, shit happens, okay? I didn't mean to do it. It was total accident. It said, you'll keep all your programs. And so I said, okay. No, he said, we'll get rid of your programs, but we'll keep your files. And I said, awesome stuff. And so it did it. And I didn't realize when it said delete your programs, it actually meant delete your programs. I thought it was going to leave my stuff. I thought it was just going to clean out some stuff. It was a flat Earth moment. I love quick resume on Xbox. I'm playing Yakuza in a dungeon where I can't save my game. So I can just join back when I turn on my console later on today. I mean, quick resume is awesome. I'd really love to see quick resume on PC. I reckon they can do it if they really wanted to, but they won't, because of probably the way they allocate RAM, because Windows is weird with the way they allocate RAM, and I don't think they're going to change it now. For those that don't know, you can have 4 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes, 64 gigabytes of RAM. It doesn't matter. If you're playing a game, it will basically tell the game, hey, you got 60 gigs of RAM to use. I know you're only going to use 8, but we're going to fill up that RAM anyway, just so we've allocated it to you. And so it doesn't leave much else for anything else. This was the whole Turk and Nib debate with Wukong, by the way. Nibs clearly didn't understand how RAM works, and to this day, he still doesn't understand how RAM works. And Turk was trying to explain to him how RAM works. But, you know, you can't explain something to someone if they're ignorant enough, and I guess too stupid. Yeah, he Nibs doesn't understand how RAM works. Diablo, I can't have a ratio if I haven't installed the application. There is no ratio. I agree, Grey Wolf. I agree. I appreciate that, J. Martin. But it really is like a jigsaw piece in today's day and age building a PC. Everything kind of just goes in, you get your motherboard, screw it into the base, put your processor in, put a bit of goo on it, sit your heatsink on it, stick your RAM sticks in, put the nodes at, the little controller block at the bottom right, generally where it is, stick your SATA ports in, plug your graphics card in, and Bob's your uncle. Screw the case back in and you're done. I mean, that's a very, very basic TLDR, but that's essentially it. And then you can just pretty much set it up how you want. You can even set up your PC to boot into big picture mode the moment you boot it up, if you really wanted to. So it just goes straight into Steam. I did not mess up anything. He's lying and he's jealous. But yeah, apparently, PlayStation reveals that the top selling PS5 games in April were Xbox games. Now, everyone is seeing this as a really, really amazing thing and a gotcha moment that, happens. All I see here is Microsoft wanting to pay more attention to PlayStation than anyone else. Pushing them further and further away from the hardware. What do you think, David?
Well, I think maybe they're trying to, I don't know, maybe this is a bad take, but trying to gain PlayStation's trust so they could put Game Pass on their system too.
I mean, they want Game Pass on there.
Yeah,
they openly tried to do it.
Yeah, they're going to put all the first-party games on their system, so...
At which point, they would have to give part of their Game Pass subscription over to Sony.
Yeah, I don't think Microsoft will worry about that. We'll be worried about...
I think they'd increase the price a bit more, but I think they wouldn't be too worried about it. And it would be more... It depends how much it'll eat into Sony's profits. But I think eventually Sony will probably agree to it. I think they will.
Where do you think PlayStation's going to be in the next 15, 20 years? Since console won't be a thing going forward across the entire gaming industry.
An app. Just like everything else. I think they're just going to have their... everything's going to evolve from a hardware to cloud.
To a service. Yeah, to a service, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and PlayStation also uses Microsoft's Azure servers too, so...
They do, yeah.
I think at this point, Microsoft just wants to keep Google and Amazon as far away from the gaming industry as possible.
I mean, they don't have to. Google decided to yeet them out themselves.
Yeah.
Demo, I know I don't like big picture mode either. But hey, look at this interaction, right? I'll be honest, I think we all saw this coming after Indiana Jones timed exclusives for games on Xbox. Game Pass is the play long term. The Xbox goal was to get Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation, and given the recent news, I would not be shocked if that happened. So D-Batch, the ultimate shield for Sony, the knight in shining armor, the White Knight came out and says Game Pass would not be allowed on PlayStation because he's the CEO of PlayStation. He is above Hiroki Totoki. He knows exactly what's going on there. In fact, he's the one passing orders to Hiroki as to what happens, apparently based on this response. It would cut into Sony's profits on its third-party games. It absolutely would. But then you could also have it where it's just limited to Xbox first-party games, right? You can rule that one out. Sony is not dumb nor desperate, because he works for Sony and he knows everything. So I asked him quite politely, how much is Sony paying you? Right? And chat can tell you, and I'm pretty sure you've heard me saying this multiple times, I don't even get review codes from Xbox, let alone anything. They won't even respond to my tweets. I've contacted the community managers, both in the US, in the UK. None of them will even give me a second of the day. They won't even reply to me. When I finally got to through to someone after sending a long email chain to the US over the span of 3-4 weeks. I finally got a response from someone in Microsoft who basically told me in a polite way to go away. So clearly I've done something to them that I don't know about. So I get nothing from Microsoft. Everything I do is myself. D-Batch here says, more than what Xbox pays you. In fact, Xbox pays PlayStation to me. So he's just openly admitted that the only reason he is shilling for PlayStation is because they pay him.
No fucking way, dude.
He just openly admitted that the only reason he is shilling for PlayStation is because they pay him. It's right
Maybe
there.
you should start shilling. We should start shilling for PlayStation then, man. Get free money.
It's right there. It's right there. I mean, I'm not misinterpreting that, am I? He gets more than what Xbox is paying me, and I get zero. I said Xbox pays me nothing, gives me nothing. I get zero from them. Now, from Sony, it's a different matter. Sony have given me hardware, free controllers. They've given me a bunch of games to review. Recently, they gave me Days Gone, which I still need to check out and try out to see what it's like with the update. Probably the same game, but at the end of the day, you know, Sony have been very nice to me and they've been constantly giving me stuff. Microsoft has given me absolutely nothing. But he's turned around and said that he gets paid more than I do, thinking I actually earn something from Microsoft. So he's fully just admitted that he shills for Xbox and the PS5 Pro because they pay him. My man actually sold his integrity, his dignity for money.
That's fucking sad.
I mean, can you interpret that in any other way? Chat, I'll put it to you guys. Can anyone interpret this in any other way? I know, Woodpit. I know it too deep down. But on the surface, I'm a expert, right? Diablo, that's true. The music that you're listening to right now is from Diablo. He made this music. He's actually given me more than what Microsoft has given me. He's at least given me some tunes that I can play on my stream. This is crazy, right? How do you self-expose yourself as a paid shill? And my dude's gonna take the high ground. Hey, there's no clipping here. You don't clip none of that stuff. Unless it's a cool thing that I can use for a short, then you can clip it and send it to me. And I'll post it somewhere. This just made me laugh. Man thinks he got one up on me because he got 12 likes from his paid shields. I'm assuming he's paying for those 12 likes as well at this point. I mean, how can you trust a guy who's getting paid, right? Hey, Byron. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, if anyone in chat can tell me that they interpret this differently to what I said, I'm all ears.
Ask Grok if it can. Like copy paste everything in the Grok, see what it says.
But all of this like that?
No, the individual. I guess that could work. Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see if the AI can come up with anything.
summarize. Oh, God damn it, stupid. Summarize this conversation.
Summarize? What do you mean summarize?
In a brief exchange, Kelsprime Z accuses D-Batch of being paid by Sony, implying bias. D-Batch jokingly claims to be paid by Sony.
Jokingly, okay.
Humorously
So
adding
it's a
that,
joke.
I mean, that's what they're saying. I don't take it as a joke. Humorously adding that Xbox indirectly funds it by denying any payment from Xbox and calls D-Batch a shill for admitting to being paid. Why isn't that good old Grok. Is the Division 2 update out? I don't think it was. We spoke about Gears. I think we spoke about Gears for a long time. We spoke about Gears and we spoke a bit about fanboys being dumb. I mean, look at this one. This one's special, right? Tripster is... The conversation is about Gears of War and PvP, right? And because PC Cuck, referring to, oh no, it's Alex, thinks PlayStation gamers haven't just been playing Returnal, which is a harder game for the last few years. So
a harder game, huh?
So this guy thinks that a game that has a set pattern for everything it does when it comes to its bosses is harder than the irrationality of a human being when it comes to doing the most unpredictable thing in a video game.
Why is he calling him a banana?
Because he dresses up as a banana.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well,
he dresses up as a banana. Returnal, the game known for its PvP, even it doesn't have PvP. It's like... What the hell, man? My man's referring to a PvE game as, yeah, we've been trading on a PvE game for PvP. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's like, come on. That's stupid. And then there's these guys. I don't know, man. They are really special. Oh no, Returnal's a really good game. It's my favorite game on PlayStation. I really enjoy Returnal. It's hard as nails for me, but I still enjoy it. It is silky smooth and it just runs great and the boss fights are awesome. And I really suck at the game, but I still enjoy it. Does anyone here like puzzles? It's a really random question, I know. But there is a reason for me asking this question. Because apparently, if you've bought the Ultimate Collector's Edition of The Last of Us, now you can actually buy the puzzle. For those of you that haven't had enough of paying for the same game... No, it's not a game. It's just a puzzle.
It's just a puzzle, bro.
Yeah, you just put the puzzle pieces together. So if you haven't had enough of paying for the same game over and over and over and over again, 7 or 8 times now, well, now you can relive those moments by playing the most exclusive Build Your Puzzle. It's got 1,000 pieces.
You can only buy the puzzle if you get the Ultimate Edition.
Oh, no. This is just buy it separately, but if you haven't had enough of buying the same game over and over again, here's a good opportunity for you. Coming to a PlayStation. Oh. See? Puzzle. Jigsaw puzzle. Any takers? You can relive those moments, those glorious moments on, The Last of Us.
Bro, what? Ain't no one buying this shit, bro.
I bet you there will be. I bet you someone like Jay Barry is going to buy it.
Yeah, well, somebody's going to buy it, dude.
I bet you Jay Barry is going to buy it.
I don't even know who that is, but okay.
He's just another PlayStation fanboy. And here's the thing, right? People often say, why do I hate PlayStation? Have I said anything bad about a PlayStation game that I like? As it goes to... Returnal is one of my favorite games. I'm actually a huge fan of The Last of Us, even though the TV series so far is sucking balls. What is it? Ghost of Tsushima is one of my favorite games. Do I shit talk PlayStation unless they actually deserve it? You're not gonna buy the Jigsaw, you're gonna wait for the remake?
Oh my, that's such a good one, bro.
Oh no. They keep coming at me saying, why do you hate this? It's like, I don't. But it's like, you got no games, bro. Where's your games? I paid $100 for my PS5 Pro. I want some games on there. I'm stuck playing free-to-play games.
Is GTA 6 a day one for you?
Not sure. I mean, it probably will be, but I'm not excited for it like everyone else is.
Okay.
I've never been a huge GTA fan.
What would be a day one game coming up? Besides Doom, okay.
What is coming up? What is coming up actually? I mean, outside of Doom and Ghost of Yote will be a day one for me.
Ghost of Yote, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima. Like, really, really enjoyed it.
Not Death Stranding. I didn't like Death Stranding.
I still need to play the first one. I mean, I've bought it. I've got it like in 4 different places. I got it on Epic. I got it on Steam. I've got it on Xbox and PlayStation, and I still haven't played it.
Bruh, consumerism at your finest, right here.
Right? I mean, Epic one you got for free. PlayStation one, I think. That one was actually quite amusing because they were offering free upgrades to the PS5, right? So I went and bought one second hand at Computer Exchange for like a tenner. And I said, all right, I put it into my console and said, hey, you got a free upgrade. Okay. So I got a PS5 version for a tenner. Xbox One was 50% off, so that was like a no-brainer. So I bought it anyway because I wanted to support it. And I hoped I'd play it. And I think did I buy it on... I think it was it given away on Xbox Store? I can't remember.
Yo, Diablo, you're gonna be waiting for like 50 years until that happens.
I mean, Gears is gonna be I mean, that's on Game Pass, so I'm gonna play that anyway. I mean, that might be the first game, well, the second game, where I break my desire not to buy stuff with early access. I hate early access. I really hate early access. But if it's like really cheap, then I might break it for that. You will buy it. Because I'm sure someone's going to want to play it on stream. Co-op. Blink's Remastered, that would be cool, but that's not coming. But what else is actually coming this year that we know about?
Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, I guess.
That's not like a day one for me. I mean, it's on Game Pass, so I'm going to play it, but it wouldn't be a game that I would rush out and say, right, I need to buy this game immediately.
Is Hollow Knight coming out this year,
I don't
or
know.
is it's just gonna just sit in limbo forever?
Like if they
It's a
said
day
Nier
one.
Automata is landing this year, end of year, that collector's edition would be day one.
Nier Automata. That game already came out.
Part 2. If they ever make a part 2, that's day one. For me.
Okay.
Have you played Nier Automata?
I own it. I bought it like a couple months ago. I bought it because of Ninja Gaiden.
It's phenomenal. From its combat to its story, everything. It is one of, and you have to complete the game 3 times.
Why?
So you play the first time.
Yeah.
You get to the end.
Mm-hmm.
You see the credits.
Yeah.
Then you have to do a new game. It doesn't tell you. You just have to know. And then you get to play as the supporting. You play the parts where the supporting character is. Because you play the main character as 2B. There's 9S as well. 9S usually goes off and does his own thing at certain intervals. You play his part of the story and see what he's doing in the background in terms of supporting the campaign. And then once you finish, his campaign is a lot shorter. Like, I think it's about half of the length of the first game, the first playthrough. Once you finish those 2 points converge, and then you get the final playthrough as well. I'm not going to say it because of spoilers, but you get your final playthrough, and all hell breaks loose. And when you find out, so that's when like the real WTF moments really, really happen. You get a couple of them throughout when you start putting the puzzle together, the whole picture together. But good lord, that game was just pure win.
Nier was so frustrating until I figured out how to save. I would die and then have to start everything over again.
What, the original Nier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that made me quit the game for a couple weeks.
What game is real? I mean, Night Rain comes out soon.
Night Rain. Okay. I'm not playing that, but okay.
But hey, Expedition 33 has achieved a remarkable milestone, surpassing the 2 million copies sold mark. All thanks to Xbox Game Pass, right? Right,
That's impressive.
And then Chaos complains about cheapest extending a game's lifespan. Wait, Brick, this isn't the same. Nier actually playing it 3 times, you need to complete it 3 times, but each playthrough is different. Every time you click on that new game, it's a completely different playthrough. And the third playthrough finishes the story. And then at the end of the game asks you a serious question if you are willing to sacrifice it all for the sake of humanity. And what they mean by that, right, is are you willing to sacrifice your save file? If you say yes, it uploads your save file, and you lose your save file, it deletes your save file from your system and the cloud. Would you say yes?
No. I'm not going through all that again.
You don't have to. It's done. At the end, you get to, when you're in the credits, you get a shooting game that you have to stay alive. And in order for you to get lives, people have to sacrifice their save files. So every time you die, that's someone else's save file getting vaporized and being deleted from Square Enix's servers.
Oh, hell no.
But it makes sense when you get there to that point. And it's a question that you will think about. And like I said, the game is phenomenal. From music to art style to gameplay, boss battles, It's up there as one of my favorite games of all time.
What about the second game? I haven't bought that one yet. Is that one just as good or is it worse?
Nier Automata is the second game.
Or the first one, whichever one that starts with an R.
That starts with
You
an
know,
R.
you know which one I'm talking about? The other one.
So you got Nier, and then you got Nier Automata.
Okay, maybe I'm.
Unless you're talking about Nier Reincarnation.
It might be that one.
That's the mobile game that they shut down. Oh, Replicant. Replicant is basically the first game.
Yeah, Replicant. That's the one I'm talking about.
It's the first game.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, you have Nier and Nier Replicant, and they changed the characters because apparently, I think in the original he's young, but in Replicant I think he's older, or it's vice versa. But they just changed the aging of the characters.
Okay.
Because of some legal thing or whatever it was.
Yeah,
I don't agree with it. When's the next Xbox Showcase? The next Xbox Showcase is June 8th. June 8th. And we may actually get an announcement for the DLC for this game because they said that they are looking forward to doing DLC. They're not ruling it out and they've got plans. Because 2 million copies sold means they made a lot of money. Yoko Taro won't make the next game in the Nier series until he can figure out something that's different. If you look at Nier, the first game, and Automata, they're very different in styles. He won't make the same game twice. June 8 is going to be big. That's when we're going to get some really big showcases and some nice surprises, from what I'm told.
You've been told surprises, or have you been told the games?
Bit of both.
Both, okay.
But we'll be pleasantly surprised. I'll say that. People are going to be happy. Take it easy, Paul. Thank you for stopping by, my dude. Did Sony announce their state of play for last week of May or not yet? I mean, they just had the Borderlands 4. That's their state of play. Dude, they've got nothing coming. They've got Death Stranding 2 and Yote, and that's it. Yeah, but Kingdom Come Deliverance has a pedigree, right? It's got a name. It's got a franchise behind it. The first game sold very well and was received favorably. This is a game made by 30 people? For an indie company, this is really good. 2 million copies? For an indie company? That's insane. Sony State of Play. I mean, Sony's State of Play is the Xbox Showcase, right? 90% of those games are going to be on PlayStation anyway. And this is the thing I was saying, when, people... Sony doesn't have to do anything anymore. And that makes me sad, because there's some good franchises from Sony that they could really be pushing. But they don't have to, because now they've got everyone and Microsoft releasing on their platform. Why do they even need to try? Why do they need to rock out the boat?
Mean? Well, dude, if Xbox ends up becoming the most played games on their platform,
why do they care?
They're only going to get 30% of the money of those games. If they use their
own
doing
games, absolutely
they
nothing.
Get 100%.
But they'd be making more money from that 30% than they would be from the other. Don't forget, when they do Spider-Man 3, that game is rumored to cost $400 million.
Oh my god!
Right, $400 million. So, yes, they're going to get that 100% revenue from it when they're selling it on their platform, but they need to sell 15, 20 million units before they can make a profit. When Doom goes on to PlayStation, that 30% is instant profit. Do you see the difference here? There's no marketing,
yeah,
there's no advertising, there's no development cost, there's nothing. They're just sitting on their asses. Forza, Doom, Gears, whatever it is. They're just enjoying 30% coming in for doing absolutely nothing. Did they build Call of Duty, which cost like $1 billion? Or whatever it costs, $500 million to make? No? But they're enjoying that 30% for free. Just by having the game on their platform. So it's not it's they don't have to. And this is why competition for me was really important. Because it pushes both sides to make really good games. Microsoft at the moment is absolutely killing it with games. They've released so many games this year, and I can tell you there's more coming in the showcase for this year. There is more coming. And you guys are going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe this got announced for this year.
Tell us one game.
Nope.
What do you mean no? Come on, bro.
I can't. But when you hear it, at the end of the day, Microsoft still has to build those games, right? They're still working on those games. They're paying for those games. So Sony's just going to sit there and just take it day and date. How is Sony losing out here? The people that really are losing out here are those people that actually enjoy those Sony franchises, right? Because they're not getting them. They're not getting the next Uncharted. No, they're not getting the next Uncharted. They're not getting the next whatever it is. They're just... Sony's just in cruise control. Because there's no competition. You need competition.
Fable was already announced. Grey Wolf.
Yeah. Hi-Fi Rush 2 was already announced anyway, but yeah, let's go with Hi-Fi Rush 2. I don't know if that's going to be there, but that was announced ages ago. So yeah, Xbox exclusive.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Xbox exclusive. There is no such thing as an Xbox exclusive anymore.
Except for the original Gears of War trilogy.
No, the only one that's actually... that's on PC, right? There's only one game on Xbox, I think, that's still exclusive to Xbox. That you can't play on PC.
Gears of War 2 and 3 aren't on PC, I don't think. I know the first one is, because it got remastered.
Steve, is Gears 2 and 3 on PC? I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know, man. I look up Gears of War.
Diablo, I'm not going to say anything, because,
Yeah, 2 and 3 aren't on PC. Yeah, I figured.
That's interesting. So there's free games now.
I don't think Judgment is on PC either.
1, 4, and 5 are. So that means Gears 2, Gears 3, and Halo 5 are true exclusives for now.
I want Halo 5 on PC, man. Come on. I want that so bad.
It kind of needs to land at some point, right? So you can have like the whole set on your PC.
It's either going to be Halo 5 or Bloodborne. Bloodborne ain't doing. I'm going to keep on storing the hopium on Bloodborne though. I want that to happen.
But I was having a discussion with Steve not long ago, and he's like, "Why do I care where the games go?" And a part of me does, right? A part of me does because I have that old school mentality back from the Sega and Nintendo days when we used to go to school, and it kind of gets ingrained in you. And he's right. Why do I actually care? There's literally no reason for me to care, considering I'm getting those games day and day on Game Pass. I still do, though. I ain't gonna lie. I still do. Not like to the point where I'm gonna go on Twitter and cry and stuff, like you see Warhammer Dave doing and all of these other guys. But I'll still air my discontent, and then 5 seconds later, all right, I'm going back to playing games. You know, it is bullets. It is. It is. But you know, it is what it is.
No, only Forza 5 and Motorsport are on Game Pass. All the other ones are removed.
Unless you bought them.
Unless you bought them, yeah.
No hype for Hi-Fi Rush. I thought it was cool, but Hi-Fi Rush was such a niche game. Honestly, I don't actually even understand how it became so viral. I think it was just a case of, and I don't mean to sound bad when I say this, so don't judge me for saying this.
I'm gonna judge you.
I know you are. I know you are because it's quite bad. But the community was so starved for a good game that the moment one landed that was semi-good, everyone went nuts about it. And because it was exclusive on Xbox at the time, I think the hype of it just not being on PlayStation took over. That's my honest opinion.
I didn't even know what Hi-Fi Rush was until like a year ago. So, that'll tell you how much I've been informed.
But like, why would you sell it Xbox? Like, people are saying, "Oh, I'm going to sell my Xbox." Why would you do that? You've got so many games that you've paid for, you know, throughout your. I mean, sure, you don't have all the OG Xbox games, all of them, and you don't have all the 360 games available to you. But you've got a broad selection of games available to you that you've already paid for and have that you can still play. You've got your Xbox One games that you can play. You've got your Series games that you can play. You've got a whole catalog of games that you can just revisit anytime you want. Why would you actually sell it? That's the question, because you're not playing those games on PC. I mean, I know the aim for Microsoft is to get them to work on PC via a virtual environment. But that's not get. What do you mean?
You said you know, so I'm thinking you got some leaker information or something.
This has been common knowledge. This is what they want to do. They want with Windows. You know how on Windows 11 you've got the Android virtualization that allows you to play Android games.
Yeah,
they basically want to. Yeah, they want to do the same thing with Xbox. That's the grand plan.
What licensing issues would that bring up?
None really.
If any.
The licensing issues are generally pertain to the ones that you can't play. If you remember, the original Xbox was on Nvidia, so was the 360.
Yeah.
And the games that aren't actually backwards compatible, it's not that they're not backwards compatible. It's because Nvidia wanted royalties and Microsoft said no. Nvidia is the one that blocked those games.
How come some of them can go over though?
Because so the games are built with kind of like two templates. You've got the basic Xbox template and the customized template. Anything that was basic on the basic template, like Cameo, for example, those will all work. Anything that was customized used specific NVIDIA drivers to make them work. And those are the ones that NVIDIA basically say, hey, you want that? You got to give me money because I like money.
Damn, man, it sucks.
Hey, Chili. But yeah, so it's not exactly a Microsoft fault for it not working. I mean, they could have paid for it, but it would have cost them an arm and a leg. And I genuinely don't think it's worth it. Because not enough people are going to go back and utilize those old games. There's going to be some that do it, but it's not going to be mainstream enough for them to spend that money and then continue paying that license indefinitely to Nvidia. Because it's not going to be just a one-off payment. Chaos again. What did I say? I said nothing. How's it going, Chili? There you go. Chili's just confirming what I'm saying. Nvidia wanted money for every sale on top of a fee. Yeah, hit 3 million players. I also find that players thing a little misleading because
Why?
you know, I mean, if I put the game on, I'll play it for
Okay.
5 minutes and it's not for me, like Steve did with Expedition 33.
It counts as a player. Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really tell you the full story. Now, what they should do is count if you get to like say, I don't know, one of the achievements that require you to have played 10, 15 hours of a game or 6 hours of a game, and you get to that point and you got that achievement and then it counts you as a player, I think that would be a much better metric. Because it shows that you're still playing.
Yeah, but they're never going to do that.
No. Because then that would go counterproductive towards their player base. You know, if a game had 50 million players, it would cut it down to probably about 30 million. Instantly. Maybe even less. It is very hard for Steve. There's mods nowadays, Steve, that helps you parry and evade. I wouldn't know anything about it, of course. I just read it somewhere.
Expedition 33 is one of those games that are just so good, I don't want to finish it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You missed me trolling a bunch of fanboys and a bunch of stuff like that. Sure. But hey, people wanted to know about Mind's Eye, so we've actually got some leaked footage here. I'm going to show it anyway. The stream is demonetized, so what are they going to do? Demonetize me? No, I demonetize my streams now so people don't get adverts. So if anyone wants to support the stream, they can do via super chats or memberships and stuff like that if they want to, and it just gives you guys a better experience anyway. So
off-brand GTA. Let's get it.
This reminds me more of The Division. I don't know why. It's probably the pulse that they do. You know, when you'll see him pulsing him in it. It just reminds me more of The Division than anything else. Hey, Chili, thank you for a membership for 14 months. Man, GTA looks so good. But I actually... See, this I like. This I like.
Reinforcements coming from the tunnel. I'll keep us covered. You get that blast door open.
Yeah, I don't know. It's alright. It's alright, I guess.
I mean, I like The Division. And this reminds me of The Division.
I saw Ghost Recon first.
I mean, Ghost Recon is pretty much copying The Division. As I said in my video, it borrows pretty much everything from The Division. But yeah, I really like. I'm interested in this. I'm not interested in the parts where you're out in the city and driving about. But this sort of mission structure, interests me. So I'm probably going to check this out.
Let's try the walkway.
Because we've got this one over here as well, which doesn't really interest me. This just is generically... This just looks generic cyberpunk, GTA. It looks, you know, just driving around a city. It's all Tom Clancy, yeah. So they're all kind of following the same path. The Division was the blueprint, and then they kind of took that blueprint and applied it to their other games.
Does this game take place in Las Vegas? What is this?
Ah, no, man.
Give me some intel, and maybe I give you a break.
I'm in the UK. I ain't been to.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I ain't been to the US of A, man. Not that I don't want to. I do. I just don't want to get stuck at the airport.
Why would you get stuck at the airport?
Because of my name. The last time my brother went, because we have Turkish names, which is, you know, Muslim.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
My brother was pretty much pulled at the airport and questioned for like 4 hours. It was crazy. He was begging. He was just telling them, "Send me home. I don't want to be here anymore." And they wouldn't even put him on a plane home.
Scratch that. You probably are. Okay. What do you need from me to fuck off?
Give me some intel, and maybe I give you a break.
What's this?
No, Sherlock.
Florida?
You can start by telling me who you're doing all this for.
Yeah, Ghost Recon was before, but the formula used in Ghost Recon was for the new games. You know, Breakpoint and Wildlands was from the Division. But yeah, so that's... Gears Reloaded, ponies will be traumatized. That's if they jump into the multiplayer. Hoping they will so they can get their asses handed to them. I mean, the driving looks generic, but the previous part looks a lot more interesting. And the game's kind of got this like 2-tier system. It's got the present, and then it's got the future. So I'm interested to see how that all plays into it. Whether you can, on the fly, switch between the two modes or not. Because
The
I'm not
city
sure.
ain't even real, dude. What pit? The city ain't even real.
But it is made by ex Rockstar devs, so. Anytime you say.
Anytime you say, yeah.
Oh, I know it's not got no off switch, but you still need them to actually click on the multiplayer to get them to play. Right? Oh, apparently a trailer 2 for Grand Theft Auto was dropped today.
You didn't know that?
I've been working.
Oh, okay.
I can't show it on stream because that will get me striked.
That's the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning, before I went to college.
No, I was working from 8 a.m. until 6, and then I did not want to look at any screen or monitor until I started streaming.
8 to 6?
Yeah.
8 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, or in the evening.
Evening.
That's
yeah.
worse than 9 to 5, dude.
We had a lot of work and we were quite behind, so I started a little early and finished a little. My normal is 9 to 5:30, but we're so far behind on our project because of reasons. None me, by the way, but you know, the grunts have to pick up the work, right? And being in QA, I'm the last line of defense. I saw you say that earlier, Steve. I just had no idea why you said it. Now it makes sense. I mean, I haven't seen the trailer yet. I'll check it out and see what it's like, and maybe on Thursday we can talk about it.
It's just a very, very long cutscene. Ain't nothing to talk about.
Oh, really? That bad, huh? So apparently Xbox has no minimum print limits on games. So if you want to print 5, you can print 5 and that's okay. I think ever since the digital console came out, that's all they want to sell. The white one. Which looks quite nice, actually. I really like it. Yeah, 100% stated Switch exclusive. True story. I'm tempted. Do I put it on? Do I gamba, chat? I mean, I gamba a lot on my gacha games, but do I gamba for this one? But, at this stage, there you go. PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. Coming May.
So I guess PlayStation doesn't have the marketing then? That's surprising.
Dunno. But Devin actually gifted a membership. I missed that totally, so thank you for that gifted membership, dude. I appreciate it. Does he? Well, let's see. Invite guest. Copy. There you go, Chili.
100% Devastator. 100%.
Doom or Expedition 33 for Game of the Year. Have you... Look, Blueprints is totally going to win it.
For indies.
Blueprints is totally going to win it. And then, after Blueprints, it's going to be that weird and wonderful game. What was it called? Something steps. Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Totally going to be Game of the Year.
That shit gonna be ass.
The thing is, though, it's going to be bad, but it's going to be like Goat Simulator, where it's going to be so bad people buy it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna sell metric tons. That game's gonna go crazy on Twitch.
Yeah. It's going to be so bad, it'll be. But I will say, I still worry about the fact that it's so early in the year when it comes to Expedition 33. Recency bias always happens a lot of the time. So we'll see what comes out at the end of the year.
I mean, there's still a ways to go, right? And we still don't know what Gears Reloaded is gonna look like. We'll find it out soon enough.
I mean, we've seen screenshots, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't do it justice once it's in 4K, moving in that ultra realistic Unreal Engine 5.
At 60 FPS.
Damn straight. I mean, 120 as well.
Only for multiplayer.
Hey, it still supports 120.
That is true. Yeah, but that's 60 FPS, 60 times 60 stutter with Unreal Engine 5.
Chili, you are a little low, but the mic is fine.
Am I?
You're better there. I think it was just a bit away from your mic.
I wasn't that far away, but okay.
You was millions of miles away. And
I
look,
looked
we can
away.
finally use the trio, the holy trinity of the triangle.
Yay!
How was your trip to London? Was it to London that you came?
York.
York.
It was good. Yeah, had a lot of fun. Thunderbolts was a really good movie. I do recommend it. I know a lot pissed off. People are pissed off because they spoiled the movie already. And I'm not talking like social media. I mean like Marvel themselves have spoiled the movie.
So, Chili, next week, Thursday, which is the 15th, right?
Yes. Or is it? No, that's next week after, right?
Is it next week after?
No, next week is 15th. You're right.
Right. Without giving too much away, have you been invited next week, Thursday, as well to a specific company to try out stuff?
No, I don't really get invited to things, so no.
I'll see. If
I mean, we may have been invited, but I have not.
All right, I'll speak to my contact and see if they've got any more spaces. If you're interested.
Well, it's probably in London, right? I'm guessing.
It is in London, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Getting down there's a pain.
I know. Even a pain for me because I'm out of London at the moment. It's a nightmare. You're seeing all these coded speeches, chat. Everyone wondering where is he going now. Yeah, it was totally deliberate.
But thank you. So yeah, we'll see. But nah,
Get a
push
push
bike.
bike.
Look, I am too fat for that. I'm sorry, Steve. I am too fat. Not for the push bike, but just the idea of bike is. I'd be like, it'd be like what you call it, the Sidemen video this weekend where they decided that KSI decided that everyone, because he's so much more in shape than everyone else, that everyone else could have a car, and him and 2 others decided to bike around an island to see who could get there first. That wasn't a good idea. It was horrendously bad for him.
Wait, Susanna, how did you know? God damn it, Susanna already knows.
Oh my! You're telling me that they decided they're going to demonstrate the PS6 controller, which is actually the return of the banana.
Yes.
Fuck, I knew it.
Sanchez,
banana controller's back.
Remaster should be fine considering, what is it? DLCs are now fair game, so there's no reason why remasters can't.
By the way, you talked about Sony not having the rights to GTA. I don't think they do, but it did. It might be because of Microsoft being Microsoft and they have a specific time to upload. But it took them quite a long time to upload the GTA trailer compared to Sony. Sony was like right there around the same time as Rockstar, and then Microsoft was about 6-7 hours later. Now, I don't know if that's just because Microsoft has a specific time of the day they upload
For
stuff.
what?
For GTA 6.
The trailer.
Oh, I'm not sure.
For GTA 6.
Yeah. GTA 6, Sony and Rockstar pretty much uploaded the same trailer at the same time, almost. And then Microsoft took a while. So.
Did any of you get a chance to try Arc Riders? I never got into the playtest. I don't even know if you was allowed to.
I didn't even
in the
apply.
UK. I applied like through Steam, but I couldn't get in.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing very favorable responses from it, to the point where Marathon could be really, dead on arrival.
Dude, it's been dead. It's already dead.
No,
Come on now.
I want to.
It never had a chance.
There's dead, and then there's beating a dead horse, right?
Yeah. Okay. There's
get
beating
to
a
the
dead.
And for me, Marathon would have had a chance, but the issue for me is it's around the same time as Borderlands, and after that trailer, I'm even more hyped for Borderlands. So
Man, I fell asleep. I was falling asleep. Like straight
really,
up.
I was excited.
Really?
I was falling
That was
asleep.
pretty good.
Everyone was like, Chaos, why are you falling asleep? Wake up. And I was like, I'm trying. It's so boring.
No, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Like, I'm excited to see more information.
I think the actual game is going to be good, right? I just think Sony, or whoever made that trailer, did such a shit job with that trailer. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the trailer wasn't good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The trailer that they showed for State of Play was so bad. It was shite. It just put me to sleep. That's not how you sell a game, by the way. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have problems sleeping. So, +1 on that notion alone. But $70 for a game to put you to sleep? There's easier ways. I have a wife and she has a frying pan. It might hurt a little bit more, but it's free.
Woodpit, supposedly it's a different team writing the storyline for GTA, and it's not the fact that they're focused to be anti-woke, but they are going to be less focused on insulting certain groups in GTA 6 than they... And I feel like that's fine because it's been 2 generations and social acceptance has changed. since the last game come out, so I feel like if they released exactly what they did with 5, it's not the fact that it pushed the boundaries. I just feel like it wouldn't be funny, in my opinion. Like, certain jokes age. Like, so I like the idea. I hope it's more serious. Like, GTA is supposed to be over the top in a bit, but like, I hope they focus on the more serious topics than just insulting people because they want to.
In what
Keep
game
that
are
on
we
the radio
talking?
stations. GTA.
Oh, this is gonna be the same GTA,
Well, no,
I
'cause
think.
It's a new team, right? Because WatchCrit has left now. The original writers for GTA's have left. You know, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't
don't know.
notice any of it would appear. That's just me. But then I also, frankly, don't care. So.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. They want to make sure that they can't take any risks with GTA. Like, that game cost them over $2 billion to make. If this game fails, honestly, I think it could have severe implications for 2K. They cannot risk this game failing. So if they have to go full on anti-woke and pander to what people want, I don't even blame them for it. Right? Because if for whatever reason this game flopped, you're talking so many people out of a job. You're talking like parts of the studio even just closing. $2 billion is a lot of money to over $2 billion. $2 billion was like, you know, sometime last year. We're talking this is probably $2.5 billion now.
I would say $3 billion once you add in marketing.
Yeah, so it's a lot of money.
This is, if not $3.5 billion, because marketing's probably going to be a lot of money. Even they don't. I know it sounds weird. They don't need to do it because GTA markets itself. They will have to.
But yeah, so in my opinion, they need to make sure that this game succeeds, and if that's what they need to do, then no, it's better for them not to listen to the vocal minority.
Are you gonna risk streaming it?
I think you should. No, not today. It's not worth it. It's not worth getting a strike on my channel.
Fair.
I was thinking about it, but it's not worth getting a strike on the channel. But yeah, Bungie is now heavily investing into Destiny. If you haven't seen, they're trying to make it good. Gears of War Reloaded drops last week of August, and we'll also be doing a giveaway for a Gears of War Reloaded platform open nearer the time. So that should be good. Steve's going to donate a copy of it for the platform of anyone's choice.
Let's go, Steve.
So
is he going to throw in a 5090 with it if you get a PC version?
Members only as well. So if you want to be a part of it and have a chance of winning a copy, feel free. Become a member and be in with it. We'll also be doing some giveaways over the next few weeks as well.
Devastator says, already own the Ultimate, do I get a free upgrade? Yes, if you own the digital version of Ultimate. I don't think there's a free upgrade for physical, right?
Was there even a physical?
I think I've seen a lot of people say they've got the physical, so I'm guessing there is a physical. Yeah, the only way you'll be able to give people the PSN version, Steve, is by giving them PSN credit and then hoping that they then use that money to actually buy the game.
Well, this is the thing.
Steve, Ultimate.
Steve wanted to. Well, he was thinking about doing it earlier, but he wanted that money to be used for the game. So,
But yeah, he has to buy the controller, the wrap, the console, the game on every system, including the Switch 2. Even though it's not on the Switch 2, he's going to find out how to do it.
I don't think there is going to be a physical for Gears Reloaded. It seems like any game that's made for PlayStation just doesn't have a... That's going to PlayStation doesn't have a physical. Can't you gift a digital game on PlayStation 5? There's all sorts of problems, man. I remember I did a giveaway with a bunch of Xbox games. And because I was gifting it from my region to another to people in the US, it wasn't booting. It wasn't working. It made it so difficult to actually do it. I had to then go and basically send everyone money through PayPal so they could just go and buy it themselves. It's really weird. But yeah, so we'll do that nearer the time, and then we'll be doing some more giveaways over the next few weeks. Ridge Racer's coming. I know that's for PlayStation, but still, I'm excited for Ridge Racer Arcade Perfect. If anyone else is interested. Hey, Grey Manad.
No.
Wait, you don't like Ridge Racer?
No.
Come on, it's like the greatest racer of all time. It's like the perfect arcade racing game. It's the only racing game that you can slide around the whole track with your car being horizontal and still win.
Listen, Mario Kart's going to clear. Forza is going to clear. It's not close.
Look. Ridge Racer's in a different league.
Yeah.
Ridge Racer! Sorry.
Chaos promised to play Quantum Break as one of the prizes. Yeah, Quantum Break is a fantastic game. I definitely will replay that. Quantum Break is really good. Steve promised that he'd play Quantum Error.
You know what the real good... You know what the real good remaster that was announced this week was? You know, I know everyone that's talking about Gears of War and, you know, you had Oblivion recently, but you know what the real amazing remaster announcement is, right? You know it, right? Do you know what the real amazing remaster? Do you know it?
Which one?
Do you know what? Do you want to know, Chaos, what the best remaster announced this week is?
It would have been Oblivion, but that's not this week. So what is it?
Yeah, Echo the Dolphin.
They announced a remaster. What are they remastering?
Yeah,
It's a 16-bit game.
Echo the Dolphin and Tides of Time remaster, plus a new third game being made by the original developers, supposedly, of Echo the Dolphin.
Well, I
There's
should enjoy that one.
There's a website that has a timer that nobody knows what it counts down to. But yeah, so... And it's quite a long way away, so we'll see. Yeah, Echo the Dolphin is being remastered.
Steve is regretting his life right now. Wanted me to play Quantum Break. It's a good game.
I remember Breath of Fire. I never played any, but I remember the franchise.
Yes, it was on the SNES, right?
Yeah. And I think there was some... wasn't there some on the PlayStation 1 as well?
Hey, I already played Skull and Bones. How much more Skull and Bones do you want me to play? There's no Skull or Bones left. It's just a ship with nothing. He had a chance there. He had a chance. Oh. Chili, any interesting gaming news that you know of?
I mean, apart from the Echo the Dolphin thing, I don't think there was anything really that major apart from, you know, of course, GTA, which you'll talk about on Thursday. Probably.
Oh, shit. Oh
What's up?
no.
What?
So I know none of you are like really involved in the gacha space, but there's huge drama at the moment going on about one of the
Oh
theory
yeah, I've been watching
crafters.
about Sticks as well.
Yeah, it's
Sticks has
talking
been
about the
having a lot of
15.
drama.
Well, this one is on Wuthering Waves, talking about power creep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the one that was basically being accused of lying has now doubled down and said it's not 15%, it's 25%. So that's going to create like another 50
That's
videos
crazy.
responding to that.
Yeah.
It's never ending BS.
Yeah, Steve, I'm excited for Gears. I really am. Like, I'll probably pick that day one. Not gonna lie.
I mean, just check this game out, right? It just looks so weird, right?
Okay.
I don't even know what to say about it. It's just so weird. Like, who would want to play this?
Check it out.
Like, is there anyone in chat that wants to play this? Like, anyone at all?
I mean,
Not a single person is actually saying yes right now.
who said something to play multiplayer, Steve? Check it out.
See, Bullet?
It's
Bullet's
still-
is agreeing with me.
I'm gonna say it still looks kind of pretty. Not gonna lie.
I mean, I don't know how much
But this was-
better it's going to actually look from this. I mean, this is
'Cause this
obviously
was
compressed.
2015, though, right?
Yeah, it's been 10 years since the last one.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's going to be looking better than this. They're not just taking this. They said they remastered it from ground up, right? I'm going to
No, I don't think it was remastered from the ground up. They said it's a visual upgrade from the Ultimate version.
stream.
It's not a huge. No, I don't think it's actually a huge remaster. I think it's just an visual upgrade.
It's native 4K with ray tracing on console or PC with ray tracing.
Well, hopefully PC, because on console I don't want to run it at 2 FPS.
I mean, the Pro might do, a single
No.
ray of tracing.
Yeah. Steve, I don't believe 4K with ray tracing on PS5.
Not 5, the Pro.
No, he just says both, so I don't.
Come on, it's got the pisser to piss out the ray tracing.
Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah. It is. Well, we'll see how it looks like when it comes. If it is 4K with ray tracing, I don't think there's going to be any upgrade to the textures. That's the
Yeah,
only way I can see it happening.
Diablo, why are you doing him dirty like that, man? God of War Ultimate is damn pretty. That's cold,
Oh,
man.
man.
That is cold.
I still have my God of War Pandora's box. It's so cool.
That's cold, man. Calling this God of War.
Man, Kratos has lost some weight.
You mean put on weight?
I don't know. Once you take off the armor, I feel like it's about the same.
If you piss hard enough, it turns into a ray.
I mean, sorry, David. I knew you were on earlier, and I'm talking over you now.
I know, Susano. We're all waiting for this. It's just not happening.
What the fuck, man? I'm not playing that.
Oh, it's gonna be glorious.
Marcus in a
Steve's-
swimsuit.
In a Borat mankini.
Very
enough
nice.
That's enough to, Marcus goes around, blasts a grunt's head off. Very nice, yes. You're gonna be talking to yourself.
Hey, I'm used to that. Don't worry. Yeah. Yeah. I played that game as well, Brick Wall. It is a cover shooter, technically.
Nikkei is a cover shooter, yeah.
Yeah.
With some nice assets.
Speed bumps.
Nice assets.
Yeah.
But interesting times. Chili, what do you think about the 2 PS5 packs with Call of Duty Black Ops 6?
I think that's kind of cool.
But don't you find it a bit weird that it's only for PlayStation and not Xbox?
I do find that's weird, but did Xbox already have one already at launch?
No.
Ah.
That's what makes it weird, right?
Yeah. And also how cheap it is, but I feel because they're quite the bundle's $150 cheaper than the Xbox, right?
The PS5 Slim standard bundle with disk drive and download code will be for $449, so it'll be $50 cheaper.
Yeah.
So the PS5 Slim without a disk drive will be $50 cheaper, and the PS5 Slim, no, that's with the disk drive. Without the disc,
with the disc drive,
you can get a PS5 and Call of Duty for $400, $100 cheaper than the Series X.
Yeah, which is
That's
crazy.
Crazy.
And I think I've got my theory on why that's a thing.
Why?
Well, you got to remember the Xbox is shipping the consoles in now, so the Xboxes, of course, are being hit by the dreaded tariffs. So of course the current Xboxes are having to go in price.
That's gonna.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, it's not. That would be one of the reasons for it. Reasons. But I think one of the reasons why these are so cheap compared to the Xbox and why they haven't gone up in price is probably because Sony probably started stocking these when Black Ops actually came out. They probably had these in the warehouse in America, just rotting, waiting until they can officially legally sell it. There was probably a contract with Microsoft that they can't sell the bundles until a specific amount of time after the game comes out.
No, that expired with Modern Warfare. The Modern Warfare that got absolutely shat all over. Was it Modern Warfare 3?
Yeah.
Right, so that was supposed to be DLC, but in order to finish Sony's contract, they turned it into a full game. And that Sony's contract ended with that one. That's
the same done. But Microsoft now probably has the rights, right?
They do, but they're not using it.
They do.
They're giving it to Sony instead.
Blame the FTC.
Is it bad that there are Roblox games that look better than Marathon? I know, right? Trust me, I've seen the Roblox games that my kids play. Some of them look insane. Like, they're crazy good. People are now already talking about Gears E-Day going day and date to PlayStation. This conversation will continue. And there is going to be a lot more butthurt people about this. And a lot more people are going to get pissed off and say, see you later. But I think the majority have as you said, David, I think the majority has accepted what's happening. And you get a day one with Game Pass, and that's the lure now.
Man.
What Gears of War? Let me see if I can find it, actually. Because that was crazy.
What happened? I can't see the chat for some reason.
It's a Roblox game, right?
Okay.
But you'd be impressed with what it actually looks like. Let me see if I can find it. That isn't it. I don't know what it was called.
Go ask one of your kids.
I'm dead now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They would know, but my youngest is probably sleeping and he's the one that plays it the most. Let me ask my son real quick. See if he actually knows what it's called. 1 second. I'll leave you guys to keep them entertained for just a second. I'll be right back.
So how was your day, David?
It was alright. I finished 2 college exams today. I passed both of them.
Nice. Congrats.
Let's say what?
I found out BT because supposedly I wasn't in today, even though I was in today for the. They had an engineer coming around to check stuff, but nothing turned round. Someone said something about Sony investor call about PlayStation 5 Pro. I haven't seen anything about that. Like, I haven't seen that Sony has announced the price increase yet. I don't think they have. I think they will eventually, of course, but I don't think it's happened just yet.
When do you think they will? Like, how much time do you give it?
Maybe. It really depends because Sony sent a load of shipments to America already at the start of the year. So it really depends on how much they start selling out. If sales start increasing, then it might happen sooner than later, but we'll see. Hey,
How high do
Steve,
you
I haven't
think?
responded to.
How high do you think they'll go?
I'm going to guess about $100 extra to most of the systems. I really do. I think it'd be an extra $100. It really depends on what the market's like at the time. And of course, the games will go up by $10. Yeah, Banisher, BT were like, we phoned you. I'm like, no, you didn't. I got no phone call. They're like, oh, but we did. I'm like, no, I checked my phone history. Nothing there. So what's chat up to today? What are you all up to today? I'm so pony. Oh, so pony. I got no games to call my own. Hey, look, I'm busy with Expedition 33, which I guess is a Microsoft game. I think. Is it?
No, it's not.
No. Thought so. It got funded a lot by Microsoft, though, right? I think Microsoft actually helped with it.
I think it was just a third-party deal. I'm not sure about that, though.
Okay. Taking a break from Wilds. I need to get back into Wilds at some point. Yeah, Robots and Fortnite have a lot of games because it's easy to develop for. They use some easily used tools. I miss Little Big Planet. That was fun as well. It's a shame that Sony seems to ignore Little Big Planet now, removing everything from their marketing for that. It was a good game, and it's a shame that they're like distancing themselves from it. Was easy to monetize Roblox? Yeah, because it has its own currency, right? And they use that currency to make to convert into real money. Yeah.
I got it. It's called Frontlines.
Welcome back. Before I scare everyone off from talking pony.
Already?
Yeah.
I leave the pony on the line for 1 minute. Well, probably more than that, but still.
Nay.
You might not.
You said front lines?
Yes. So this is it. So this is Roblox.
Oh, this game. I remember this.
This chat is Roblox. Have a good night, Ghosty. This is crazy.
That's
right?
impressive.
This is crazy, right?
Yeah. This looks better than some Call of Duties, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is really impressive.
Yeah.
Looks better than Marathon.
Mate, anything looks better than Marathon. But this, yeah, this definitely, at least this knows what it wants to be. Marathon doesn't know what it wants to be. Marathon just kind of says, hey, I want to please everyone, and then doesn't really please anyone. And then you go back to the basic. This is what it originally looked like before they added a filter on it.
That's crazy.
Damn, dude.
Underneath it, that's what this was, and this is what they turned it into.
That's beautiful.
It looks good, right?
Yeah.
And this game is super popular as well. I mean, you can understand why.
Yeah, so that's basically alpha to beta. A lot of people talk about alpha builds, but trust me, a lot of the alpha builds that exist that people think are alpha builds aren't alpha builds at all.
Oh, I know.
Oh my god, it even has a proper loadouts. Oh my, look at this. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's no.
This is Call of Duty. Not gonna...
Yeah, there's no point in buying Ultimate now. I went to do that, and then I reread what they said, and it's only if you bought it before the announcement.
Yeah, I didn't see that before. I bought it and then I saw that afterwards.
Because it said it was a reward for people that bought the original version, right? So.
Tarkov will release on console this year, I reckon. They're going to want to disrupt Marathon as much as possible.
God, imagine if they announced it as a stealth release on the day that Marathon comes out.
Oh, that's going to hurt.
Oh, that's going to be awesome, dude. I hope that happens.
They're like, we're stealth dropping the alpha for escape from what you call it on the day that it releases. Like if they can't get the release date, like if they can't get the full game out that day, just I'm
starting to worry that the next gen Xbox console won't have the Steam function. I think I think the next gen Xbox. There's no reason. Let me rephrase what I'm saying, so it actually sounds like I'm saying something coherent. With the way Microsoft is pushing things now, it makes zero sense for them to have a traditional console. There's no reason for them to have a traditional console, just none at all. You're already seeing them pushing PlayStation consoles more than they're pushing their own one. I think they are done officially with the traditional console. What they want now is basically a box that can run everything, and they no longer have to get publishers and developers to develop specifically for Xbox. By making it pretty much a PC, they just have to develop and make sure that that specification of the PC is catered for, and that's it.
I put this in the Discord, but I don't know if you saw me ping it. But did you see the platforms that Gears of War is coming to?
PC, Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not Microsoft PC, not Windows PC, but Xbox PC.
Yeah, because that's what they're going for, right? So there's just no thing for them. It doesn't make sense at this point to assume anything different. And these console bundles that you're seeing leaked with Microsoft, like I said earlier on in the stream, first it started off with a trailer being exclusive to PlayStation's YouTube channel, and people said, "Oh, it doesn't matter; it's just a trailer." Right? Now, if you go back years, go back to 2013, when Destiny 1 was in its prime, and Deej came out and said, "Hey, we're just introducing this one Sparrow to Eververse. We're not going to add anything else to the store. It's just a Sparrow. We're just going to put one item in there maybe every 6 months, rotate it." And then eventually that one item became what you see Eververse today. And so...
Did you see they're getting sued for Destiny, right?
Yeah. That's partly... I don't think that Bungie actually stole it, but they can't prove that they didn't.
No, because they don't have it anymore, and they probably don't have. And I've been telling people I don't. Again, I have no. Legally I have no idea. I'm just gonna say this because I don't want to be part of this lawsuit because I have legally no anything to do with Bungie. But I've been saying this ever since the archived stuff happened. Because the archive stuff happened after they left Activision, right?
Yeah.
They announced all the archiving after they left Activision.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying this since day one, that there's a huge chance the stuff the reason why it got archived is because Activision probably has the rights to some of it because they worked on it with High Moon Studios and
No, that
Vicarious
wasn't it.
Visions.
They literally, basically, the game is getting too big. And the Tiger engine can't cope with it. It's falling apart. So they had to sunset a lot of it in order to get new content in. The idea was that they were going to bring that content back in over time, and they never really did that. They kind of just left it. And then Destiny 2 kind of evolved into something quite different over the years, with the way the mods work, the way the system works, the way the supers worked. So what Destiny was at the beginning of the launch, it no longer is compatible with the code. They would have to basically go back right now and refactor everything, which is basically rebuild everything from scratch to make it work. And it's just not financially worth it. That's why they're in that position. They left it too long to bring it back in. But yeah, as I was saying, first they started off with the trailer. Then they've now gone to bundles. Like, it's clear that they want people to go to PCs. Because it just means that when it comes to games, you never miss a game. Ever. Every single game will be available on your platform. Including PlayStation games. You literally won't lose out on anything. And that, it's clear that's where they're going. So Steam's going to be on there, the Epic Store's going to be on there, everything, whatever you have on your PC is going to be on there. But it's just going to be a box with a set specification. And who knows? Once that's actually being, once those specs are finalized, on the PC settings, developers are just basically going to design a specific, I guess, spec for Xbox. And you'll have that option, and then it will give you the option maybe to tweak. If they're generous enough to let you tweak. If not, you're just going to have a preset mode called Xbox that is auto going to select, and that's it.
I mean, there'll be some tweaking, right? It just won't be the equivalent of a normal PC.
Yeah.
Like you'll probably have the quality and performance mode and maybe some other things that you can change, but I don't think it'll be the same as... Yeah. Like, there'll be a few things that you can change. I think we might get a field of views. I think we'd actually get a field of view slider as well, actually, which we don't normally get. But I feel like that'll be something that'll be added for certain games.
Well, so the situation with Bungie right now is that they can't prove what the accuser is saying is false. Now, the accuser has a book that they've written that basically is the Red War. There's loads of similarities, names being the same, and their work was published before. Now, it's quite possible that Bungie didn't copy them, and I honestly believe that they didn't. But the reality is, there's no way for Bungie to prove it. because the original code doesn't exist. And because it doesn't exist, the accuser has proof. Bungie has none to refute, so Bungie loses it automatically. Now, Bungie tried to use content creators' videos and content to try and prove it, but the court said no, that's not valid enough. That's not acceptable. And that's the other thing, you know, Bungie used other people's content without even their permission. I don't think they'll be competing with anyone, to be honest, Bags. As far as Steam's concerned, I think Steam will probably give Microsoft like a 5 or 10% cut on the games because it's on their box. Steam will still be getting their money. You know, even if it's 15%, 15% is better than 0%, right? 15-20% is still better than 0, no matter how you look at it. All Gabe cares about is the money coming in. And if that's an extra 15-20%...
He wants another yacht, at least.
He's happy, right? So, I don't see them competing with Steam. I don't really see them competing with the PC market because anyone that's a PC enthusiast is going to want to be able to build their own PC and tinker with the settings, which I'm sure that the OEM version is just not going to allow you to do because it's going to be restricted in some way. So I think they're fine. They can all coexist at the same time. I don't see any issues. Yeah, exactly, Steve. Which parts is on? Bungie or Xbox and Steam? Because I can do either. But yeah, they're just aimed at two different markets. There's people that don't want to really delve into Windows, and the console experience with the non-modular Xbox will give them that approach. Whereas for someone like me who doesn't mind getting into the nitty-gritty side of the PC, the PC would be a better option. But at the same time, we're both playing the same game. We're both playing the same version of the game. But yeah, so I think that'll be fine. And at that point, PlayStation will have an interesting choice to make. Are they going to start pushing games off PC? I don't think so, because they need the revenue.
No, of course not.
They're not going to stop the games working on an OEM PC. Just not in their interest, because Steam would have a field day with them, because any game on Steam has to be playable on any launcher of Steam. It's in the terms and service, so Steam would just sue the shit out of them, so that wouldn't work. So at some point, Sony's gonna probably turn around and say, well, we've got this platform, well, what's next? And who knows, right? The next consoles could both be just handheld devices. There's already rumors that the PS6...
be so crazy.
There's already rumors that the PS6 is supposed to have two processors in there. One that can leverage the handheld. And no one really understands what that means. So, who knows? Maybe it's like a dock of some sort. So,
yeah,
you've got a more powerful CPU in the dock that can basically run the things a lot more with more power. So it's interesting, but I think the age of consoles, especially at the prices that they're going for, is coming to an end. $800 to $1,000 for a console, who's gonna buy it? Like, who's gonna actually go and, I know some people will still buy it, but like the average person isn't spending $1,000 and then spending another, $200 on PSN to have it for a year. £1,200 for a console, it's not happening.
I mean, this console generation sold the least amount, right, out of any so far, already. Right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Because we're 5 years into the console generation, and it's what, 90-ish million that they've sold?
Combined?
In total.
Yeah.
Combined, it's
that,
over
yeah.
100. Combined, it's over 100.
No, I don't. It's not over 100, right? Because Sony is like 60-something million.
I think they're about 65,
Remember,
and Xbox is about 35 million.
Okay, so push 100 million. It's not higher than 100 million.
I'm pretty sure there's one extra console there to say 100 million. 100 million and one.
But still, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, we should be close to, what, 140 million by this time in the generation?
Yeah, about that. And also, like, they're talking about like, increasing prices to $80. Less people are going to buy games.
Yeah.
Less people are going to, go buy day one games. More people are going to go to secondhand stores if they can, especially with Nintendo and PlayStation, because they still do physicals. So Nintendo and Sony stand to lose even more money from game sales. Those that are only doing digital only, like Microsoft for the most part, are the ones that are going to see their sales going down, but at least they're still going to be getting some revenue. But as long as those physicals exist, the second-hand stores will exist. So it's a mess, right? They think by increasing the prices of everything, people are going to spend more. That's not how it works. You increase the price, you spend less. If you bought 5 games a year, you're not going to go and buy 10 games a year because they increased the price, are you? So I don't get the mentality here. And they keep saying, oh, well, prices haven't increased over such a long time. But that doesn't matter because the volume of sales that you have has increased. It makes up for it. It's just all greed. There's none of this inflation bullshit. It's all greed. Exactly, Steve.
But I mean, yeah.
So, it's weird because they think that, people are going to buy more, and they're not.
It's going to go down.
It's going to go down, and they're going to make less money.
Do you think Game Pass will go up at all?
See, we were talking about that earlier, and I think it will go up. But I also believe that what they should do is what Nvidia did, where as long as you remain subscribed for current members, your price will stay the same. Of course, that means that you can't unsubscribe, and it's a bit scummy in that regard. But at least, as long as you're interested in Game Pass and staying with it, you're guaranteed the cheaper rate. As a way of saying thank you for being with us for this long and supporting what we do. But I don't think Microsoft will do that. I think they're just going to increase it outright for everyone.
Scummy, I'm going to go off topic here, if that's okay. This is what I'll bring up while you were away, actually. I talk about, again, faster internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was given a provisional date for an engineer to check the building on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing happened. And then today, then they're like, oh, well, I've got a provisional date for today. And supposedly nothing happened. Anyway, then they're like, oh, please go to the website and book another date. And so I phoned them up and they're like, oh yeah, he came round, but the gate was locked. I'm like, you told me it's a provisional date. You didn't give me a time. You didn't give me an official confirmation it was today. And no information at all. And also they supposedly phoned me, no phone calls. So now I'm gonna have to wait till Thursday or Friday, and hopefully maybe something will happen.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they didn't call you or turn up. They're just using it as an excuse.
Yeah.
I remember. Do you remember?
I know, because they said the gate was locked, which makes sense because my landlord likes to keep the gates locked because we've got a pub over the road, and during the day it's fine, but people like to use the flat as a shortcut to the buildings behind.
Yeah, but they probably just drove past. They didn't even stop.
Probably.
Like, have you heard of a company called CityLink?
No.
I don't even know if they exist anymore. They're a delivery company, and I bought
delivery companies.
a 5.1 system, and they said they tried to deliver it, but I wasn't in. No, they said they couldn't get past the intercom.
Yeah.
Because I drove down to the actual depot to pick it up. And so I turn around to the guy and I go, "Can I speak to your manager?" And the manager comes out eventually after I started shouting. And he goes, "What seems to be the problem?" And I said, "Well, your driver said that he turned up and he pressed on the intercom and no one answered the door, and so he left." And he goes, "Right, so what's the problem? Why is that his fault?" And I said, "Well, look, here's the deal, right?" And I was like, "What, 10 people there?" I said, "I'll bet you the house I'm living in, my car, everything I've got, that's on my name. Come to my house right now. If there's an intercom at my door, I'll give you everything. But if there isn't, you resign on the spot." And he goes, "Well, I believe what my employee said." I said, "Fine, let's take the bet." He goes, "Well, no, I'm not going to take that bet." Of course you're not going to take the bet. Because there's no intercom.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
It's not an intercom, but I still remember DPD, right? Now, we have a front door, which is always open, by the way. The main front door is never locked. It's always open. And as you open the door, there's a locked door, and then there's also, before that, there's a postal system with all the, all the flats.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go in the door, you can see all the different posts that you can put down, whatever. This person decided to ignore that, not even try and go in the door, but right next to the front door, right, there's a little gardening box. But there's also weights on it because the box sometimes blow open, right? So there's weights on the box, right? So this guy had come in and decided to lift the weights off the box, put my parcel inside the gardening box, cover it up, and then put the weights back on. And then I got a message saying it's been delivered. And I'm like, where?
At least it was delivered.
Yeah, it took me forever to find it, but yeah, it was delivered.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Bye,
David. Sorry.
When do you think? Oh, later, David. Wait, he's still here. Did he leave?
He's gone in the video on the thing.
They've disconnected their mic and their cam, so I can't let them back in until they do. PlayStation pricing.
Yeah.
When do you think they're going to increase? I mean, they're obviously going to increase.
October?
You think it's going to be that late?
Well, you got to remember, they shipped a load of consoles to America before any of this happened. There was that huge shipment that they said they've been stocking up in America, so it might have been faster if GTA was coming out this year, but I can't think of a single game that's coming out this year until the end of the year where you got Marathon and Ghost of Yotai, where they're actually going to be selling tons of consoles at once.
Man, no one's buying a console for Marathon. Ain't no one buying a console for Marathon.
So, like, I don't see the price going up straight away. In theory.
But no one's buying a console for Marathon.
Yeah, no one's buying a console for Marathon, but... So, yeah. And yeah, Bagsy did hide his package to prevent theft. Except for the door that's in front of him that he could have just opened.
What do you think of this statement?
Wednesday night here in US. Okay, sorry.
Whether you want to admit it or not, Xbox has done more to save gaming this generation than most other publishers, from the affordable Xbox Series S, incredible value of Game Pass, and most recently the willingness to bring once Xbox exclusive games to competitors like PlayStation and Nintendo America. Gaming has never been more accessible than it is today.
I mean, until recently, I would agree with all of that. Of course, I don't agree with all that now with the Xbox Series S price increase, but all of that I agree with. Except for the pricing, because that obviously has changed. Situations have changed since that message. Because I'm sorry, but if you got a choice, the PlayStation 5 is cheaper.
It is cheaper. But you lose that more in the long run.
As we speak.
But you lose that more in the long run.
Yeah, but it's a cheaper investment for people to buy. Like, people often pay for the cheaper product because they can afford it, and even if it would only take a few months to save extra, there's a huge chance they'll jump on board with the cheaper product than wait to spend the money on the more expensive product. Even though technically that more expensive product would save them money in the long term. You know that.
Oh yeah. I was just reading what Bag said.
Yeah. Byron says there's a call this Wednesday night in the US. So that'll be morning Thursday for us. Well. Yeah, as Bag says, the average gamer doesn't care about Game Pass. They're playing their Fortnite and their Roblox. So.
Hey, about 45 million people care.
That's true.
That's that's still a lot of people playing. Because Game Pass right now is sitting somewhere between 45 and 50 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people on Game Pass.
It's like 30 million, right? 25 to 30 million. I can't remember what PlayStation Premium's at.
I know it dropped, but I think it's somewhere in the 40 to 45 million.
Yeah.
If it dropped below that, I didn't read about it.
Which is crazy.
But yeah, 45 to 50 million for Game Pass. That includes core, PC, standard, and ultimate. By the way.
Okay.
That's
most
not
of those
just...
are probably core. I'm gonna guess.
Core's around 8 million.
Huh? I'm actually surprised it's so low.
PC's at about 15 million.
Okay.
And then the rest is standard and ultimate. Ultimate has like the majority.
Oh yeah, because core just gives you
just
online,
Xbox
right?
Live and 25 games.
It's
yes,
basically
Steve,
silver.
they stopped. It's basically the PS Plus.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as that, but just PS Plus rotates games more.
Yeah.
They give you free games, and Core just gives you 25, 30 games, and every few months they rotate a few of the games.
Kind of like the extras, in a way. PlayStation Plus extras. Kind of.
Yeah, similar to that, but just not as newer games.
Byron says, why does Sony use Linux instead of Windows? Sony does use a fork of Linux, right?
They do.
Yeah.
BSDM or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why they had to get rid of the browser, because the browser was often a way to the Xbox Series P.
It's true. It's true. PlayStation is the he was joking about this earlier, but yeah, the PS5 is the Xbox Series P.
Yeah, I saw that in chat. He asked if I was an Xbox Series P owner, and so you had to say it earlier on in the day because I was lurking before I had to go off.
But yeah, because PC Game Pass was at about 10 million.
Yeah.
In 2022, there's a LinkedIn profile that actually showed it before they removed it, and it's been growing steadily since. And then they said in the latest earnings call that it increased by 45% year on year.
Yeah.
So,
which is impressive for PC.
10, 11
PC
million
people don't
is
like
5
subs.
million, 5 5.1 million, 5.2 million. So I just rounded it up to 15 million.
That's impressive though, because PC players hate paying for subscription fees. They hate it.
But they are, because
Okay.
the value is there. 15 million PC players are playing it on there because the value is there. It's like, I think in the UK it's like $10 a month. It's crazy cheap.
$10, man. When did we change the dollars?
It's crazy cheap. But yeah, thank you for the £2 super chat, Yatta. But then you've got 25 million was on 25 million was Game Pass as all-encompassing without Xbox Live. And that's grown a little bit as well. But 25 plus 15 is 40 already. Game Pass since 2022 has grown a little bit at the very least with the releases of Starfield, Indiana Jones, Avowed, South of Midnight. There's loads of games that have come out for it to grow a few million. So 45 million is about fair when you add in Xbox Live Gold, which is Game Pass Core. Which isn't too shabby, right? And if you average that at around £12 per subscription, that's a lot of money.
Yep, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. How much is that exactly? Let's see. £12 times, let's say 45 million. That is 540 million a month. Now, if we times that by 12, that's 6.5 billion a year. And if you minus the 2 billion that it costs to run the program, they're making 4.5 billion on average a year profit. And that's why they still have the console, because the majority of the player base for Game Pass is still on the console, with about 35 million.
No, I'm so bad. I need to cancel my Humble Bundle. Like, I don't ever use anything. In fact, I'm starting to lose my games because I don't know if you heard, but they now delete codes after so many years. Even if you have them already and you don't activate them, they delete them off your account. And I kept my Humble Bundle subscription just because I like the title Classic.
Yeah, David, I tried to re-add you, but it showed that you lost camera and mic, and then it wouldn't let me. But that explains it when you lost connection. But yeah, next time on next week Tuesday, feel free to if you're about. I don't mind having you back on. It was nice having you on. Noise was minimal, and your input was quite cool. I liked it. But yeah, so that's why they earn roughly 20 billion per year, plus 75% is from sales software. Hardware is 25%. Sells software, hardware, 25% Game Pass. Yeah, that makes sense. So $4.5 billion isn't loose change, right? $4.5 billion is still a lot of money.
You know who's also going to make $4.5 billion?
Me.
I wish.
I mean, they're going to start super
Marvel
chatting right
Rivals
now.
this Friday when they release that Squirrel Girl swimsuit outfit.
Oh,
skin.
they're going to make bank on that one.
I've already got the money put aside to buy it.
David has resounded to his fate. David's just accepting his fate right now. After all the Gears talk, he knows it's coming.
David, you're awesome.
He's like, I accept my fate. Just do it and end it now.
You know what? Fine. You know what? Here. No, I don't want to.
I do need to finish Expedition 33 though. I'm trying to find time to play it.
I'm still in chapter 1.
I've just gone to the little people's place.
Yep, that's where I am.
Yeah, that's right. As far as I go. I just don't have the time. I don't have
Well,
the time.
I've been trying to do it only on stream, so we've had 14 update recently, and then I do the stream on Wednesday, and then Rivals is Friday, so, and then I'm here on Thursday to annoy you.
Expertly. Didn't they make 25 billion in revenue, or was it profits last quarter they recorded?
I don't know how much Microsoft made.
I don't know what it was, but they made like, I remember reading like 20, the number was 25. It's
Microsoft
revenue?
70.1 billion revenue and net income of 25.8 billion.
Yeah, that's what it was. Wait, net income of 25?
Yeah. Net income of 25.1 billion. Or is it 8 billion? 25.8 billion. It was 25.
Either way, they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And none of that money I see for myself.
Most of it was driven by the cloud and office services.
Not sure yet. Devastator? Probably be in a couple of weeks.
Oh, I'm the adopted son of the Microsoft family now, says Yatta. Well, I don't want to say son, but you're not adored. You're part of the Xbox family now. They've adopted me. I'm the stepson.
But yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of interesting stuff going on, but this Gears of War has riled a lot of people.
I'm excited. I'm thankful for it.
Of course,
I do find it funny that they're selling one at a time.
See, I was saying that's what I thought. See, that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. That they're basically doing it to milk it so they can make more money by selling it one at a time, instead of doing the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
So they could charge you
I say
3
do
times.
it though.
Yeah, why not? And the second and third game will be
and not even
way
selling
cheaper.
it for full price, are they? Which is even
No,
better.
40. And the second and third game is going to be so much cheaper to build now that they've got the engine all set up.
Yeah.
The first one is usually the most expensive.
Well, no, because they don't even have an Ultimate Edition of 2 and 3, so it's going to take more effort.
I mean, they're just going to utilize the same stuff from thing though. I mean, it's still going to require some work, but it's not going to require the work it required for the first game, which was rebuilding it in Unreal Engine 5.
True.
Now they've kind of
But
got
they'll
all
have to redo the
tools.
textures.
Yeah, but they've got the tools to do it now. They don't have to.
True.
You know, they don't have to start from scratch with the tools, and that's usually where the biggest cost in development comes from.
Yeah.
The actual tools. Now that they've got the tools ready, the rest should be a lot faster and a lot cheaper. Still cost. When I say cheaper, I'm not talking like £10 or anything, but you know.
No. Yeah, as Bullet says, it's a free upgrade for Xbox and for PC, right? I think the PC version gets an upgrade too.
If you have the Ultimate Edition already, so
Yeah,
basically,
if you have the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, if you've got the Ultimate Edition that you bought 10 years ago, they're basically saying,
which I think I own. I actually think I own it.
They said they give it to you for free. You get a free upgrade.
Yeah.
Which I think is quite nice. That's actually really nice. And, you know, people, like I said earlier, someone was telling me that this is the same as The Last of Us. You know, the similarities here. And I'm like, not really.
No.
The Last of Us released, part 1 released like 3-4 times. And they said, well, Gears of War released 3-4 times. And I said, yeah, this is like the 3rd or 4th release. I said, yeah, but the difference here is Microsoft is re-releasing Gears of War 1 to put it on another platform.
And also,
so it's not the same.
And also, Gears of War E-Day is a prequel, right?
It is, yeah.
So it's best to I don't think we're going to see 2 and 3 anytime soon. I do feel like that's going to be a little bit later. Like, I know some people talked about, it'll come out soon. I do feel like 2 and 3 is going to be later on. I feel like one of the reasons for 1 coming out on PlayStation is because If they just release a prequel to PlayStation and then none of one, the pony's going to be confused. No, I don't have an Xbox One. I have a PC version of Ultimate, right? I think I have the PC version. I have an Xbox 360, an original Xbox. Yeah, and that's it. I don't have anything apart from that. I don't have a Bone, and I don't have a Series X and S.
I said I'd get him one if we ever got to 10,000 subs.
I also said I would gift one if we ever get to 10,000 subs, but that didn't happen either. So.
You will answer for me? Millions. Why make billions when you could make millions? Not joking.
Why make millions when you could make billions?
It's the other way. I mean, I don't understand
Pretend
why
you
people...
want 10k subs. No.
Why do people keep circling Microsoft Corporation? Like that's a big thing.
I mean, technically it's a big thing, but what do you mean by that?
No, like for the games. When it says
Okay.
Microsoft Corporation. Like, Halo 2 had Microsoft Gaming underneath it. It didn't have Xbox. Like, these people are so stupid.
I thought it was going to be... I'll be honest, I thought they were going to rebrand as Microsoft myself as well.
But it's not about rebranding. It was originally... It's always been Microsoft Gaming. Go look at the Halo 2 trailer. It says Microsoft Gaming on there. But let me put it on. Is this the one? Let me see. Yeah, right. So obviously it's a just so you can see it is Halo 2.
My frigates are combat ineffective in the fighters. They don't have enough punch to take out a Covenant assault carrier.
Your pilot's let up. And down here is the goddamn
Halo 2 first announcement trailer. Man, this trailer was so good.
I'm asking you to retarget the orbitals.
And let more of them sweep the kill zone? That's insanity. There's nothing more I can do.
Our defense is too intense. Our grid is matched. I don't think we'll last another run.
Admiral, tell your men to hold their positions. Reinforcements are on the spoke.
Man, this was this was a time to be gaming, man.
With respect, what the hell sort of reinforcement have you got?
I still get chills just listening to the music, man. Stop destruction of the human race in progress. This was when Halo was at its prime.
Damn right it
What
was.
did you miss?
I won't.
Oh god, he talked! I thought he doesn't talk.
Oh, he does all the time.
That's what the internet told me.
No,
he
he talks a lot.
Oh,
Such
God,
a,
that music.
it's just so iconic.
Yeah.
There you go, in the bottom left-hand corner. You'll see it. Microsoft Game Studios. So it's been a thing for years.
But they kind of stopped doing it during the Xbox 360 era.
Yeah,
As
but like
much.
it's not like it's been rebranded or anything. It's been there
No.
since the very beginning. It's
They
just
pushed it more on the Xbox, then during the 360 they pushed the Xbox
yeah.
and Xbox and the Xbox, and then
But if you
they're
look
going
at
back
Phil
to it now.
Spencer for like for years now, I think for like a decade or more, his job title's been head of Microsoft Gaming Studios, not Xbox Gaming Studios. It's been like that for over a decade. So
Now Steve says that Gears had it on 360. Okay.
it's always, you know, it's always been there, and people trying to use that as a gotcha moment, they just really sound stupid. It's like, sure, buddy. If that's where your brain cells take you, I'm okay with it.
As I said, I think it's the opposite now, because I used to think that until I saw that Gears trailer where they called it the Xbox PC, and I found that really suspicious. The fact that they didn't call it the Windows PC like they used to do. I don't know if that was just a typing error, but I found that was the thing that interested me the most about that trailer. I'm not gonna that information.
By the way, Chili, just a quick question: are you going to?
Oh, I can't. I want to be. I'm gonna wait for the remaster. I want the one. I'm gonna wait for the 1001 pieces.
1,000.
I want the DLC. We're joking, but that's cool actually. Not gonna lie, that's kind of cool.
You're gonna buy it, right?
I don't know where I'd put it, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie. As much as I dislike Last of Us as a game, I'd be more tempted to buy that than the game.
I told you. I would find at least one pony that's going to buy it and that's excited for it. I told you I'd find it before the end of the night, and I found it. There you go. There you go, chat. I found it.
But Bill said that's not the full collection. It needs to be at least 1,050 pieces. Cope. No, I think it looks kind of cool. Look,
Why?
when everyone's power's down because the British government sucks, I'll at least have this to play.
Why is Nintendo charging $50 to play GameCube games? Because Nintendo can. They have zero competition.
I thought it was cheaper than that for Nintendo Online Plus expansion, unless they increased it.
I'm not sure what it is. I haven't looked, but no competition means they can.
It's like £20 a year.
That's the basic. You need to get the Plus expansion pass.
I thought NSO Plus expansion.
£20 is just for the year.
£35 for the year. Sorry.
Yeah, which is roughly about $50.
Yeah. Or $59 if you want the family pack. Are you going to buy Death Stranding 2? No. No, I won't. You don't want... I like Kojima, but as I've told a lot of people, you don't want to go full Kojima. And that's my issue with Death Stranding, is they go full Kojima. There's certain creatives that need someone to tell them to maybe stop. Not that they're bad, it's just that they need someone that can direct them. I'm not saying that Kojima's bad at what he does at all. He's really good, but like, someone just needs to be there to be like, maybe don't do that. Like, I still remember at Eurogamer Expo where he decided to walk out of his Q&A and decided to take pictures of trees in London. So, have we lost Chaos?
No. I was just reading this Nibs thing. Apparently, there's a PlayStation controller in the trailer.
For what?
In the GTA trailer.
I didn't see it.
Apparently,
I was too busy looking at how beautiful everything is.
And now that Nibs is saying, now we know what the PS5 would have looked like if designed by Rockstar.
I mean, if it's not exactly the look design, then is it really a PS5 controller?
I don't know. They're just looking for any win that they can get. I don't even
like,
get why.
Oh my god! Oh my god, it's controller shaped and it has 2 analog sticks. It's a PS5 controller. So yeah, no, I won't be getting Death Stranding 2. What about you?
Me? I have to play the first one before I get the second one. As I was telling David, I've got like 3 or 4 copies of it. I just haven't played it because I just haven't had the time. I'm just so busy.
I want to go back and tell this. Sorry.
No, go on.
I want to go back and tell the same story I've told a lot of people. I still love telling this story. I think I've told you multiple times in the past, actually. I've told you about Metal Gear, right?
I think so.
Yeah, how the fact that America... Basically, Metal Gear 1 did really good in Japan and America. On the not the NES, but what was it? I can't remember what system it was off the top of my head. It was like a CD, not a CD system, but basically it did really well. Anyway, the American side of Konami decided that they wanted a sequel to the game, but Kojima was already working on a different game. So the American Konami team decided to make Metal Gear 2 without contacting the Japanese Konami team at all. And Kojima had no idea that Metal Gear 2 had been released in America as Metal Gear 2.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Metal Gear 2 Solid...
Solid Snake.
Yeah, Solid Snake's Revenge, I think it was. Or something like that. So American Konami released their own Metal Gear 2, and that pissed him off so much, that's why he got back into the Metal Gear series. Because he wanted to make an official sequel just so that they could spite the American one. So, yeah, I'm not talking about Metal Gear Solid 2, I'm talking about Metal Gear 2...
The MSX version.
Yeah, MSX.
For those of you that don't know, the MSX is Sony's foray into gaming.
Yeah. Just like how people don't remember that Apple had the Pippin.
It did.
Yeah.
And it pipped itself out of existence.
Well, clearly it did, because nobody seems to... Like, you remember it, but most people forget that the Pippin seems to exist. Every time I bring up Apple had a console, everyone's like, no, they didn't. I'm like, yeah, they did. Mini discs, yeah. Mini discs were good. Mini discs were cool, though. That's the difference, as I know.
And I remember those. So much has changed over the years, man.
Yeah. Oh, Sony used to make quality hardware for music product. They still do.
The Sony Ericsson phone used to be great.
I still have my Sony Xperia phone. I enjoy
the
my
Ericsson
Sony
phone.
Xperia phones.
The Sony Ericsson phones were just so good.
Yeah.
The Walkman phones.
Oh, yeah.
Well, chat, I think we've come to the point where I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate all of you for being here, and Chili, thanks for jumping in so late to accompany me. It's been fun, and hopefully you'll be here on Thursday. And
well,
we'll have lots to talk about then as well. But if you want to plug yourself before we head out, since you're here.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm Holified Saying Gaming over on YouTube. I've recently uploaded a couple of old Naruto, not old Naruto, but basically, there was an old Naruto live service game that came out years ago, and I decided to step into it again after so long, and it's still active somehow. So I've been making some videos on that. It's been a lot of fun playing that game again. And then I spent real money on it. Go check out this week's episode where I spent money on the gacha system, and then I got frustrated because I got too lucky.
Why again?
Well, I thought, okay, I'll spend this amount of money. And then I summoned once, and I got it. And I'm like, I shouldn't have spent that money.
Right.
Anyway, please don't spend money on gacha games. Be free to play. Especially on games that are probably going to shut down anytime soon because it's 7 years old. Anyway, don't be me. But yeah, if you want to check the videos out, I upload videos regularly on Holified Saying Gaming. We cover Bleach. We're in chapter 3 of Bleach right now, so we're getting to the end of the main story. We'll bring back some Dragon Ball Online at some point. I'm hoping Sparking Zero gets some good DLC. Thank you everyone for the support on that channel. We're at 167 subscribers. we can hit 170 this month. That would be nice. And thank you everyone in chat that comes over and supports. You mean a lot. And thank you to Chaos for allowing me to plug. Thank you so much.
No worries, dude. Alright, folks, that's going to be me. Look out for more videos. I'm streaming tomorrow over at Twitch. Probably some more woo-wah. And then Thursday we'll be back here again with more banter and talking about video games and people crying about Gears of War going to other places. Right, that's going to be me. I will see you all next time. Have a good night. Peace out. And as always, remain legend, folks. I'm out. Like and subscribe.
Remember to like and subscribe. I said that, but I forgot I was muted. I muted myself after what I said.
Have a good night, folks.